Hey, howdy and hello, and welcome to The Crazy Train, the comedy podcast with no rails. I'm your host, Rob Wade, and I'm joined, as always, by my rock, Blake Harmer.
Bing bong.
I'm joined by Spike Direction.
Melting.
And Brad Hammer Barnes is with us.
Woo.
Woo! Yeah, so, Blake, how you doing? You good?
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Yeah? How's that Twitter following up at all? Or have people been saying, how did you get
I like to hope that since that's gone out, I get more followers.
How did you get the bad guy from Lethal Weapon 2 to dub it in for you?
Yeah, I know.
It's impressive. Yeah. For anybody who heard it, we had some slight audio clipping issues, and unfortunately, it was the most inopportune moment possible. So I worked around it as best I could.
On our other podcast.
On our other podcast, the E14 Gamecast,
yes.
Or as Alexa calls it. Before the show, we were playing with the Echo Dot that we got for Christmas. So I mentioned it last episode, and actually realised that there was a point where we actually started playing with it and talking to it across the room, and I realised that we were audible and it wasn't, because I've run all the noise suppression stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think that through, so it got cut, understandably so. So the reason we were doing it is because you can actually, if you use the AnyPod app on Echo Dot and Echo related products, you can now ask it to play you The Crazy Train and subscribe there too. So it's one more feather in our cap. It is getting heavy, and considering their feathers, that's saying a lot.
We're almost a Native American chieftain by this point.
Well, this is it, you know.
It's a war bonnet rather than a cap, yeah.
Yeah, so here we go. So let's have a look at some of the things it called it. So if you ask it to play The Crazy Train with the correct app, it loads it first time.
Sorry, I just had an image that we should bring Alexa over here and set her up with another mic. We've got an empty chair here on the table.
It's true.
But anyway. Well,
actually, it got involved in...
I've got a story about that.
Omera? What is best? I know what you're going to say. Yeah. So here we go. So I went through and I started trying to get it to play. So I thought I showed Jan. I was like, "Look how cool this is! Play The Crazy Train." And it played The Crazy Train. It's like, oh, brilliant! And so play the E14 Gamecast. So here are some of the things some of the errors it gave me.
Oh.
Sorry, I haven't heard of a podcast named The Heating and Cast. But I've made a note of this, and I'll try to get it for you soon. Don't bother. Sorry, I haven't heard of a podcast named The E14 Gamecast.
Yeah.
That's our lesser-known sister podcast where we just talk about the recommended retail price of video games. So we
all too expensive.
Yeah. Remember that episode? Breath of the Wild, $59.99 on Switch. Tune in next week. And then it randomly started playing some business success podcast I've never heard of in my life. I don't remember what I asked for to get it, but there you go.
5 stars?
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't heard of a podcast named the Q14 Gamecast. I'm not even sure how I got to that one.
Were you trying to say it in really strange? Well, the E14 Gamecast, trying to get it to understand. Yeah. That's what my father-in-law does. With
you are not my user. You are a man who has been hit by a brick.
Yeah. No, he talks to the Alexa on his Fire Stick voice remote, and he thinks that he has to really overpronounce everything to get it to understand. I'm like, just talk normally, and he does it, but he sort of does it sort of like, no, and then it doesn't understand, and then he gets annoyed. So rather than just talking like a normal human, he goes, play the E14 Gamecast.
Does it by any chance
it still doesn't understand.
Does it by any chance say, I haven't heard of a podcast named the E14th Gamecast?
E14.
Oh, sorry, E14th Gamescast. It's Gamecast. I do this with everybody, but it's fucking Gamecast.
It's so
That's
close.
Been since episode 1, I think. I'd have to go back and check to make sure I've been consistent, but I have a feeling. So I did one, and this time it worked, but it seems to have inserted spaces where spaces shouldn't go, which is why I think it's going wrong. Anyway, I thought I'd try something else. So I said, play me podcast by Emotionally 14. Sorry, I haven't heard of a podcast named Podcast by Mosine 14. Yeah. So yeah, basically, if you have an Echo or any kind of associated device, you've probably just driven it insane. Don't play it so bloody loud next door. The microphones on those things are really good, so what can you do? How's everybody doing? Good?
Yeah, good.
Nice. Yeah, all good. No reviews this week. Just so.
Hey.
Is that good?
Means we can get on with the show.
This is true. Yeah, it does. It can occupy.
It does eat 5 minutes.
Well, first 5 minutes of a podcast, listen to Rob whack off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm so good at this.
I mean, it's very rare they actually sometimes you read the review and you're like, you didn't even listen. You just read the show notes and assumed. But yeah, what's I going to say? It says no reviews. But if you want to do that, obviously you can do via the usual channels. So iTunes is where we see them, but you can review us on Podbean, YouTube, all that. If you haven't heard the show before, what you're in for is a comedy podcast as described with no rails. So we start off at a point and we just go where the conversation takes us. If you like the sound of 3 to 6 men sitting around a table talking shit, then jump on board and see how you get on with it. And if you'd like to stick around, we're always happy to welcome new listeners. So do that. Subscribe. Do it.
Hit that bell.
Put down,
no wrong thing.
Put down what you're doing, whatever you're doing, unless the podcast is on the device you're holding, in which case hold on to it. But just find the subscribe button. It's usually like a plus or it might just say subscribe if you need it really spelled out for you.
I feel we've over-explained.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible.
If they've
Ring that bell on YouTube.
made it this far, I think they know about podcasts.
Yeah, entirely
how
possible.
They work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to assume these things because everybody, in the same vein as every episode is somebody's first episode, every episode of some podcast is everyone's first podcast. So we might be somebody's first.
Oh, blimey, that's a lot of responsibility.
Great bollocks comes great responsibility.
This is true. And we do have great bollocks.
Do people start listening to podcasts like with the most recent episode, though?
Sometimes.
Because I always go back to the first one.
I only do that if I like them.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't listen for... I listen to the first one to see if I like them, usually. Because otherwise you end up not understanding what's happening, I think. Unless it's like a real sort of magazine-y like interview one where it doesn't matter so much.
Yeah, or satire doesn't age particularly
well. Yeah, but we do a lot of callbacks.
Neither do any topical politics on news shows tend to age particularly poorly as well.
You notice Dave doesn't buy old copies of Have I Got News for You?
Yeah, exactly.
Or buy by the bucket load.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? They've got loads. They're always playing, have I got old news for you? Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And Mock the Week, endlessly. I mean, I don't know who's...
Mock the Week wasn't as topical,
I don't know who's watching
There was
it.
often just do stand-up challenges and stuff, wouldn't they?
It's normal. It's like a slight... There's like a little news bit at the beginning and then they just do stand-up stuff.
And to be fair, even when they were told to do some stand-up about a particular subject, they would often just start that off and go off on one.
It's just something they had that's tenuously related, isn't it? Usually.
Stuart Francis tended to be the most kind of notorious for it because he was obviously he's a one-liner comedian, so if somebody asks for a topic about a particular thing, he might not have jokes about that, so he just kind of gets as close as he can and then goes from there. Just ties into them. I've always impressed by the one-liner comedians. You have to be in the right mood for them, I think. But I'm always impressed by just how much power of recall they must have. Tim Vine holds. I don't know if he still does, but he used to hold the Guinness record for the most jokes told in 1 hour, which is like 500 plus. Yeah, ridiculous.
Smashed that, haven't we?
I don't know. Well, we've said 500 funny things, but not in the kind of delivery mechanism.
Get the editing software out.
Well, I don't think it counts if you just
speed it up.
Stitch together 580 jokes and just present it over the course of 1 hour.
Play it all up with fucking Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, true.
I saw Stuart Francis supporting Ricky Gervais.
Okay.
It was like a half-hour set, and I was like, half hour's enough now.
I've
exhausting.
I've got one of the his album, and it's good that it's an album that I can pause and pick up later and stuff. Because if you're not in the right mood or the right kind of state for it, then you are going to struggle to pick up on stuff. What is nice though is I've often found with one-liner comedians, because I'm laughing at one joke, the next time I come by and I know that one's there, I've missed one because I was laughing and they've already told another one, that sort of thing. But the powers of recall they must have is nothing short of incredible. Like they would, let's say Tim Vine used to have. I listened to one of the commentaries on stand-up, which is a weird thing as a premise, but he would say that he had a word in the joke or a concept in the previous joke that would remind him of where the next one has to go. It's like it's like a weird. Yeah, it's literally a mind map, but it's very odd that people can do that. I can't do that. I can barely string fucking jokes together when, I'm not doing them quick fire. Yeah.
You've either got to be ridiculously organised, like I say, Tim Vine's ridiculously organised mind, or you just got to have a mind like Mitch Hedberg's, which can happily just go anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like he was our spirit animal in terms of podcasts.
Watch a lot of sports. Oh, fucking don't.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like if there was a comedian who is as close to this kind of format as you're going to get, Hedberg is the one. Which is no bad thing,
You want to buy a giant
I'll take
gold
that.
M?
I'll take that.
How about a giant gold W? I had one set of the improv that was so bad they added an E on the end.
You've said that too many times.
I love him. Yeah, I have all of his CD albums there.
While we're doing him, I always just like the one about what's it? But you know when you're going down the street and the guy gives you a flyer and he's like, "Here you go, man. You throw this away." I love that one.
Oh, what a dick.
Episode 60, other people's jokes.
Yeah, down with that. Down with it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine. After you tried being original for 60 fucking episodes, listeners. Oh,
Remember that time we jumped Springfield Gorge?
110, eh? Right. Yeah. Fair enough.
To shreds, you said.
A weekly show, eh? I see I am bested. We sometimes manage a weekly show.
Sometimes, yeah.
Not the same one, but
No.
every week there's a new
There's
one.
there's our show.
There you
yes.
go. This is it. And
Really
they alternate.
Yeah.
It's good.
We do it without a Patreon as well.
This is also true.
Yeah.
And, if I ever go down that route, I'll have to figure out some way to make, to figure out more of my time.
Yeah, you'll need to start doing rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again.
Again. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I found myself...
Keep me round back.
I found myself finally getting on, not being averse to crowdfunding stuff anymore, because I used to be really resistant to it for the longest time, just because I saw so many projects that were just piss takes. Like, even somebody like, Amanda Palmer, Neil Gaiman's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not
She's-
personally, but yeah.
No, but she's
No, of
okay.
her.
She's okay. Like, I'm not a massive fan of her music, but I can recognise that it's the kind of thing I can see people would really like.
Mhm. Yeah.
She had a Patreon at one point. I don't know if she's still got it. It was amount of money given to me when I do a thing. It's like, right, okay. And then she'd have a sort of list of definitions of what a thing might involve. And it's like, I might record a demo of a song. It's like, and then you'd look at how much she was getting. It's like $10,000 for recording a demo of a song. It's like, you're a fucking musician. Isn't that your thing?
Yeah.
Like,
There's no time frame there. It wasn't like she had to do one a month.
no, she could do it whenever she wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just felt a little bit like it felt like it was missing the point. It wasn't in the spirit of the kind of intended purpose of crowdfunding, which is I'm desperate to do stuff and I can't afford it. Hers was, I've got the money. More money's always good.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
But,
I think the crowdfunding thing, it's going to be open to abuse like any system is, especially where
yeah, sure.
money interaction with strangers are involved.
Yes. See also cryptocurrency, because
Yeah.
that's going from strength to strength.
I don't know enough about that to be serious nor be funny about it.
Nope.
No, it's experiencing a dip at the moment.
Oh,
It
good.
was, it was on high this time
Last time we talked about it was when it was on its way
And it
up
was
to
on
the
the-
peak, and now it seems to be on its way down
Thank
quite
God.
fast.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Good way.
well, ultimately, it. Anybody who invests in it has to know it's not based on anything. Like, now I'll explain what I mean. Like, when you buy stocks in a company, you're buying stocks in a group of people and a building and contracts and things like that. And there's tangible things that are having to happen for that business to trade and exist and things like that. And you're buying a stock in all of those things that make up a proper business. With Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, you're just buying you're just literally buying something that might go up because reasons.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do it and you can make money doing it, more power to you. But that's just a disconnect I've never been able to make when it comes to how I spend my money.
There was a point
I like
years
plastic
ago.
figures for it.
Yeah, there was a point years ago where I think it was actually when it initially started, it was based on something.
Yeah,
Because it was all to do with one Bitcoin we had to have so many hours of computer processing time to generate.
That's
And
still the case. But what's happened is
it's gone so far beyond that.
Yeah, computing. That's easy for me to say. The computing power required to do it is such that you have to have a supercomputer linked up with 10 SLI graphics cards.
Is it kind of like how supposedly modern currency is tied to gold reserves, but not really?
Yeah, it hasn't been for some time.
Yeah,
but it's even more extreme than that, because at
It's like
least
a
if
massive
you were
bubble.
to revalue, you could take
The
what's
computer you need
called.
to process for processing power behind the bitcoins you own costs more than the bitcoins you own.
Quite so. It's like, but people saying
This is the start of a cyberpunk film.
these are really. Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
these are really
in many
great.
ways, the last 5 years have been the start to a really good cyberpunk movie.
To be fair, we are in a dystopia, not a dystopia, but we're in the amazing cyberpunk technological world. We just didn't get the one we were expecting from all the books.
Yeah.
This phone in my pocket can download information from anywhere in the world via space.
Yeah.
and it cost me 45 quid a month from a contract.
The iPhone is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's
There you
even
go.
a black
Yeah,
shiny
this is
thing
it.
with one button.
Yeah, and what do? We watch cat videos and call each other faggots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
42.
not that we endorse either
Yeah.
of those things. Cat videos are cute, I guess.
Whenever I hear cryptocurrency, I get this mental image of Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, and like the Jersey Devil and Mothman just printing money.
Yeah, to be honest, that might be it. That might be the entire mechanism behind it.
May as well be.
The Patreon thing is, so it is going to get soft abuse, but there's also like a DIY ethic behind it, which I kind of like. Is I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to try and do this thing. If anyone wants to chip in, then go for it.
If E14 was to ever get a Patreon, that would be the only mentality I would support it with. It is literally, this stuff's going to carry on happening. If you want to chuck money in towards it, be my guest. That's the only reason I might set one.
A friend of
up.
mine's just set up a Patreon for his blog platform, but he has been running the blog for a number of years.
Yeah.
He edited Henry Hyde, he
I
edited
know
War Games
him, yeah.
magazines and stuff like that. So he does have a following anyway, and has kind of said, I've been toying about doing a Patreon. I could do a podcast. I could do blog posts. Would this be of interest to you? And he's managed to get like a part-time wage out of it.
That's awesome.
In a couple of weeks. I mean, that's. But I do think there's a world of difference between someone who has spent decades, if not most of their life, building up a following within a particular subgenre, and then building your name up as a brand that people want to hear from.
Yeah.
And some 17-year-old who's going to blog about what new black metal CDs have come out that week. Please give me £200.
Yeah, seriously, you're absolutely right. There is a marked difference between those two. Like, I've seen these, because we get a lot of obviously we get a fair bit of Twitter following because we're fucking awesome. We share various things across the geek sphere that are of interest to people. And naturally, people search for those hashtags and they go, oh, they're sharing stuff about horror movies. I'm going to follow them. Yeah. So we get followers for that. And I look at them and you see them in their Twitter bio. They've got like support us on Patreon. I'm like, I'll buy it. And I'll click the link and it'll be like one patron, $1 a month. Like, good job, guys. You've probably actually
For what?
Probably one of their mums.
Yeah, probably. But like, this is the thing. It's just, you're awesome. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could do that for free for a bit. That's my.
If you do
feeling.
that, just put up a link for people to donate.
Yeah, exactly. Like, a PayPal button or something.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, chuck us a quid if you feel like if you feel like you want to chip in, be my guest. That's like say.
I feel I should give Henry a plug. If you're interested in what his blog is posting, he's just at Battle Games on Twitter.
No, that's a good name. That's a strong name.
That was one of the magazines he used to edit. It's an amazing.
Oh,
title,
okay, yeah. That works out well. It's lucky that one wasn't taken. Really.
Yeah.
Annoyingly, I got a Twitter message the other day. It was a Talk Star Wars listener who messaged me saying, I thought I'd been following you for ages. It turns out that the Rob Wade I was following is like the executive producer of Dancing with the Stars. He's like, this guy never tweets about Star Wars and everything is about dancing. And he never put two and two together until like 3 weeks ago. And he's just like, and he must have been listening to the show. And at the end, obviously, like we do the sign offs. And I said, Twitter at Rob Wade Vision. And he's just like, oh shit. Not just Rob Wade.
Hey, can we get him on?
Maybe, yeah.
Let's
the guy from Dancing with the Stars?
Let's get Rob Wade on, yeah.
All right. Well, just see how many we can get. Just the Rob Wade cast.
At some point, just start a crazy train and talk about nothing but dancing for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you,
people would catch on to that I was a fraud very early on. If anybody's ever seen me dance, they would know that I am what I lack in dexterity, I make up for in enthusiasm. Pretty much, yeah.
As a Patreon goal, though, I could make up a crypto card.
You could Blake coin.
Blake coin.
Yeah,
totally.
Blake coin. Everyone needs Blake coin.
Appreciate coin.
Yeah.
This coin can't do anything but appreciate.
The weirdest thing I find with cryptocurrency, because as I said, I recently bought into one because my friend, I only chucked a tenner in because I thought.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I bought.
Are you the biggest crypto trader on this group?
What's it worth?
What, by putting £10? It doubled. It's like 20 quid.
Oh, nice.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I wish I put more in. It probably isn't now. I haven't checked it recently. But
shit.
When I last checked, it
50p.
It's awesome. You could buy some Battletech stuff.
Yeah.
was one podcast.
Check you out, fucking Wolf of High Street.
But the thing that I thought was weird is because I asked him to do it for me. I said, I'll send you the money. You do it because he was telling me all about it, and I was like, well, you obviously know what you're doing. You buy
This
it.
is literally the plot of Trading Places.
Yeah, kind of. I'll send you the money because you know what you're doing, and I want you to shut the fuck up about it. Just send me money if I make it, and then tell me if I don't. Thank you.
But the thing I thought was the weirdest thing about it is that you actually can't buy any other form of cryptocurrency
without buying Bitcoin.
Without buying Bitcoin.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to buy it using Bitcoin.
That's
Yeah.
the gateway drug.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
well, basically you buy it
That's the
with
thing,
the way...
I didn't buy any Bitcoin.
What
I
one
gave
did
him
you
a tenner,
buy?
and then I owned some up of it.
Yeah.
What one do you
When
own?
you buy a Bitcoin, does it make a little bling noise from Mario?
Please say fuck tokens.
No, it's called
It's a real currency.
It's called Electronium.
Oh, I have heard of that one.
That does sound familiar.
I was
No,
hoping
that's
it would be
all
I
Dogecoin.
thought
Yeah, I
it
was
was,
hoping it'd be Dogecoin.
I
Such
thought it was
Blake,
something-
much money.
Yeah.
Such Blake, much rich.
Fluffy McCoinington. That was the next one.
Yeah.
it's probably next time I tell you, because obviously the recent developments, it's probably like
Hang on.
-1 billion now.
No,
I should look
that's
up
not how money
like the-
works.
Should I look up how much Electronium is
Pornhub
worth?
marks.
But Blake, to be clear, if you put a tenner in, you can never lose more than a tenner.
Oh, I can get a penny back probably.
Yeah, but what I mean is you can't lose. They can't just keep going. It keeps going down, Blake. There's a point where it's
We
just
own you.
zero.
Right. Can you remember how much it was when you bought it? Like because I've got it in. No.
Remember at the time.
I feel like a dancing show would be more entertaining.
If I could see it on a.
I remember it
Ah.
dipping after it got released.
Two of these
He
cunts
bought
have got
it
their
shortly after when it
calculators
started
out. This
going
isn't what I
back up.
signed up for.
And then he
Fine.
texted me about a month ago to say it had doubled to about 20
Right.
a few weeks ago.
Well, wow. Look at that spike. Happened.
Yep, that's you, that is.
Well, that's me.
Yeah.
But how much it
See?
jumped?
See?
I really
it
love-
jumped.
I really
like,
love
a
the
couple of days
idea
ago,
that
massively.
Only Blake's coin has gone up and everything else has tanked.
Yeah.
One
Things
day,
are turning up, Blake.
one day we're just going to be like, well, hello, welcome to the Crazy Train. I'm
Bit of a
Rob.
mixed bag.
Yeah, I'm Rob. This is Brad, and you just go, and I'm Minty.
and funding this bloody
Fuck
podcast.
you, peasants. I'm
Unfortunately,
out.
Blake will no longer be on the Crazy Train, but he has sent us a solid gold 1-to-1 replica of him to sit in the corner.
It just spends out like the odd quip every now and then, like Alexa.
And he sent a voice recording to let you know how he's doing, knowing full well I lack the kit to put it in the show.
Yeah.
Well, you play it and it just goes.
No, that's the thing. It's a solid gold Blake, but it talks just quietly enough so that it doesn't go into the noise gate. But you think I'm talking normally.
You can find me on Twitter at fuck you, I'm rich.
Unfortunately, we sat next to a radiator now. It looks a bit like Winston Churchill.
Yeah, I've been joking for ages with my workmates that as soon as I buy into cryptocurrency, that'll be like everybody goes, quick, Rob's in.
Shut it down.
Yeah, exactly. But actually, it didn't even need me, it turns out. Yeah.
Well, as my friend said, only put in what you are okay losing.
Yeah.
That's why I only put a tenner. Because
Yeah.
he put in like a few £100. I was like,
Okay. If you've got,
Yeah.
Fine,
if you've got a few $100 to spare, go for it.
Mm.
Worst
I
case,
would like,
yeah.
I think it's because I'm terrible when it comes to gambling. I know that I'll go like, oh yeah, everyone else seems to be making money. I know the moment I do.
That's it.
Yeah.
I wish I put a few £100 on Trump to win.
Yeah.
Well,
The
yeah.
previous episode.
Yeah, pretty
I can't-
much.
I mean, I can't even make a profit on the GTA 5 stock market, so I've just fucking.
And that's
I
got,
had no hope.
and that's got cheat codes.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't
that-
mind, but you rig that.
exactly. They tell you what to invest in, and then you go kill their opponent's thing, and I still couldn't make a fucking profit.
You're just like, wait a minute, this might be a double bluff. This is
Yeah, I
elaborate.
bet on
Yeah, this is
the.
what
I
they want
invest
us
in
to
the
do.
wrong one.
Yeah, this is elaborate. I'll give you that.
Like I literally bought stock in Life Invader right after I blew the founder's head up. I was like, it's going to drop now, so it's a good. It's like it's had a massive drop now, so it's really cheap, and now's a good time to buy it. And so I did,
And it never recovered.
just kept going down.
Never recovered.
So, how's your shares in Carillion?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Too close, too soon, too close. Too
On the
real.
other hand,
It's
it's
too
probably
real.
quite cheap to buy now.
It's too
Yeah.
real, Blake. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Like the thing I'd say about like crypto is I've been saying for a couple of months. I'm glad I didn't get into it when I did. When like now, or like a month ago. I'm really annoyed that when people were telling me about it in July, I didn't just go, all right, 50 quid then, fine.
I'm
Because
quite
I could have
annoyed.
actually made a decent return on some of that.
Quite annoyed that when I actually had the purchase page open in like 2014, and then I went,
Oh.
nah. I should have done, yeah, because I'd
Dude.
be a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, this is it.
Terrible.
Yeah, I know somebody who would have, this happened to one of my workmates. He was looking at buying one of these, like they're called altcoins. They're the ones you have to buy Bitcoin and then use Bitcoin to trade those.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but it is. That would be a good like podcast about just science facts and stuff. I don't know why it is, but it is.
Crap facts.
Yeah. Crap in the sense we only ever had 3.
Yeah.
And there must be more.
Crap in all ways.
Yeah. The best one is, divers fall out. Did you know why divers fall backwards out of a boat? Because if they fell forwards, they'd hit the boat. But one of my workmates, he was looking at an altcoin, and it was like a Friday afternoon, and he was sitting there going, like, I could probably justify it like 100 quid, 200 quid or something. One of his friends went, I wouldn't bother, mate. He would have made 40 grand over the weekend.
Oh.
It came back in Monday. It was like, how was your weekend, mate?
Good news, Parallel Universe me is doing very well.
I had a sliding doors moment, and I've minted somebody. So, thanks for that.
Yeah. Me going from 10 quid to 20 quid, not quite the same.
No, well, I say it's 100% return.
Well, yeah.
The way to look at it is you're in profit by 100%.
Yeah, that's really.
Yeah, that's great.
What you should do is cash for 20 quid in and then buy 20 quid's worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That'll probably be the
as
last
it's
one
going
to fall
down.
over.
What you should do is buy hats.
People aren't wearing enough hats.
It's a growth market.
I was meant to show my pumpkin
Well,
stock for
As in
Halloween.
you wear them to hide some.
Once the automobile dies away, then hats will come back.
Yeah.
Because that'll be the thing.
Yeah.
Is it just a sign of my impending middle age when I see someone with a hat who's still got the sticker on the brim? I just think, cunt.
No, I think
the snapbacks with the little circle one.
Peel it off.
I'll say this about it.
Cunt.
It may be... It may be that there's nothing wrong with it. It may be that you're absolutely right. It may also be that I'm having that same problem because I feel the same way.
I've always thought that.
Yeah, it's just like you wouldn't leave the fucking $14.99 on it, would you? Fuck off.
Bizarre to me. It really is.
I always leave the price stickers on CDs and DVDs.
Really?
Yeah, because then you come back to it years later and you go, "Oh my god, I paid that."
I'm
for
such an
this."
idiot.
And, like that's how I know.
Evenings must just fly by.
My parents did it, and that's how I know that they paid $79.99 for Predator on VHS.
Yeah,
because it's still got the sticker on it.
I'll pay that for Predator, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, totally, I get it.
I think we all would.
Yeah.
We cancelled band practice a week. Predator came out on Blu-ray, so we could watch Predator on Blu-ray.
Nice.
That was a band with its priorities.
Yep.
Also, why we're not famous.
I was once having a month. It was probably January, to be honest, because January is usually because you get paid early in December and then it's like a 5-week month, so it just ends up being quite a stretch. So, and I was one January. I was just like, I've got enough money to last to the end of the week. That'd be fine. I'll just about make it as long as I don't go overboard and stuff. Predator $1.99 HD. Well, see ya. It's like, what else you got? Anyway. So the bank owned this, but it says looking around wistfully at the flat. But at the same
bank
time
of Mothman and Nessie.
At the same time, I have Big Trouble in Little China on digital, so whatever.
Yeah.
That's true. I do.
What a film!
That bit's true.
Same.
We still own this, but the bank, the thing about the Big Trouble.
They'll never have Big Trouble.
You know what? Exactly. It was exactly that attitude, Blake, that banks can't have Big Trouble that led us into this mess in the first place. Yeah. Anyway, the thing about the flat's not true, but the Big Trouble thing's true. I have got that. So,
Yeah, so we're not recording Gamescast this week. We're just going to watch Big Trouble.
Yeah, cool.
Fine. We should do a commentary at some point.
Worrying
I've
thing.
got a Big Trouble Legendary game through. We could do a Let's Play as a compromise.
That also works for me. Yeah.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah.
I was going to say we're going to do any more Let's Plays at some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
Even if we just revisited Eldritch Horror above it.
Yeah, we were talking about possibly doing something tonight, but it was by the time we realised it might be a nice idea, we didn't have time to put it together. So at some point we will do another one because we were at one point in a rhythm of every 8 Gamecast there would be one. But
I had an idea the other day as well.
Go for it.
I mean,
always happy to hear it.
Was if you guys considered resurrecting Dick-Ass DM as like a
we talked about
audio format, you should totally do it.
Every Christmas we go, next year we're going to resurrect DM.
That would totally be. I mean,
to be fair, we have got one in draft that we haven't looked at to see if it works yet. Yeah, we'll have a look, see if it works.
Yeah,
I think the world is ready for that. We can get on some of that Adventure Zone money.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Speaking of money that we can get in on, Crystal Maze. I feel like there's a gap there.
Oh,
because I've watched the new one and it's kind of shit.
Really?
I'm really enjoying it.
There's a lot to like about it. I like Richard Ayoade is a good fit for the host. The problem is the teams they've chosen because I watched 2 episodes in back to back. I don't know if it's one of those ones where it wasn't supposed to be back to back, but fuck it, they've got fuck all else to show, so they do.
It was a repeat.
Last minute replacement.
I think it might have been a repeat.
Maybe, but they had one team which was a group that were really good. And then they went to another team who were the shits. Like the absolute drizzling shits. Furries?
Oh, okay.
the furries.
You carry on, and then I'll tell you about the furries.
Okay. So no, this was
Furries
just
episode is something special.
this was just a team of. What's the best way of explaining this? Well, yeah, but basically like the kind of stereotypical girly girls.
Oh, I know the
very,
ones.
very
I know the ones.
screamy,
Yeah, I
very
remember.
giggly. Always
Did
like.
they do it thinking it was a hen night?
It seemed like they
Basically.
might be on. If you were to ask what the occasion was,
Not
hen
the
night
ones that-
wouldn't be one you would be surprised.
It's not the
by.
ones that were a football team. They were quite good, weren't they? They were all right.
No, it was one where they.
There was an all-girl team who were like all played on the same football team, and they were good.
No,
Yeah,
this
that
one
one
was. One was the captain was like a blogger. It's like, okay, that's cool.
Not a job.
Yeah, I know, right?
We
but
wish.
but there was a physical challenge in the Aztec zone. It's thrilling. I know. I'm painting the best picture I can.
No, you go for it.
yeah,
It's
I'll
fine.
paint the
We
best
all know
picture I
what you
can.
mean.
We know
So
about Crystal Maze.
there was like three different pools of water, split up by wooden dividers.
Oh God, I remember.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So you know the one I'm talking about,
I
right?
remember the incident.
There's
yeah.
4 holes in the wall and like 6 tiles that like just like sort of breeze block shaped, kind of smaller obviously, so people can pick them up more easily. Makes sense.
Yep.
2 sets, one red set of tiles and a blue box, and then on the other side of the other dividers, a red set and a red box. It took them out of 3 minutes, 1 minute and 40 to realise that they had to even look at the second box, even though they were sat there. There's a box over there, and after 1 minute and 40, one of them went, maybe we should go and have a look at that and see if that one also needs putting tiles in. It's like, no fucking shit. Like, it's one of those weird Crystal Maze challenges where they put 2 puzzles on the wall and one is just for display. Anyway, they didn't do very well.
Okay,
The prize criteria are, I think it's like up to 50, up to 75, up to 100 or over.
Yes.
They got 30 gold ones and I think like 21 silver ones.
Yeah.
Like a net total of at least fewer than 15.
Contrary to popular opinion, I've never been in the Crystal Dome.
Right.
But
Despite what those tell-all biographies suggest, it is not true. Anyway, carry on.
yeah, it's just I've never seen how it can be that hard to differentiate between gold and silver.
The way they light it, they basically look the same.
Really?
If you look at it, it's really hard. So I think not even so much now, but like in the old days,
Mm-hmm.
I found it really hard. Like especially if you're in there with all the blue light on you or whatever,
Yeah.
it's really hard to tell what's what. They just look the same.
Okay.
So it's like almost like
It's
luck.
intentionally deceptive.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
another part of it is they know they've only got so many seconds, and
So they kind of
they're
rush
blowing
and they
around, and I
understand.
think it gets to a point where they're just grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In their case, they had 15 seconds. To give you an idea of how
Yeah.
successal they're
Yeah,
getting.
no, I remember the episode. Now,
I'm going to have to look this one up now.
It's it's something special.
It
I'm
was
sure,
painful.
I'm sure it's on 4OD.
I would mute it.
Yeah.
It was a painful episode, but not
It was
as
only-
painful as the furry episode.
Let us tell you.
All right.
about
So yeah, I need to hear about
about
this.
the
I was not aware there was a furry episode of the Crystal Maze.
There was 4 of them. And
What did
they-
Rich Oyardi dress up as?
was that?
What did Rich Oyardi... Was his
Oh,
persona Ed Tudor
He
Pole?
did not. He had to have it explained to him what furries and cosplay was
Oh, bullshit.
at the beginning. Well, for the sake of television, they had to explain what that was. But they were like full on anamorphic furry cosplayers with like sort of all the articulated parts in their
Oh,
heads.
okay.
And what-
Basically like football mascots with a crotch cut out.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they all had them on at the start, and then they took them off, and they were in their Crystal Maze jumpsuits, and they was the worst. Well, actually, 2 of them were really because 2 of them worked in like engineering,
So
and
they
were
had good
really
ones.
switched
Yeah.
on,
So
and
they
they
had
did.
red shirts?
Yeah.
Dream
I
big,
think they
baby.
were red and purple
Dream
actually,
big,
so it kind of
baby.
goes. But they smashed their tasks. But then the other 4 who were just sort of make weights, clearly 2 twins.
That's a great phrase.
They just failed completely to achieve anything, and that the particular task of note that everyone got shared, it went out viral. Is one of the 2 twin brothers trying to do the one where I don't know if you saw it, where it's in the space zone and he has to go from planet to planet. They're like the space hoppers hung from chains from the
Oh,
ceiling.
okay. No, I didn't see
And
that
he has
one.
to go from planet to planet to one side to grab the crystal and come back again. Anyone who was like remotely fit has done it in seconds. It's like it's been in every episode more or less, and
Yeah.
people found it quite easy. But this one guy, and I don't want to take the piss because I'm a fat fucker and I know that I probably would fail
He's
trying
also
to do
dressed
it.
as a giraffe right now.
Yeah.
I'm amazed we got the microphone near enough to your mouth to be able to record. To be honest,
well, my head is the giraffe head is false.
Yeah.
My head is appearing from its sternum mostly.
I need to pick your brain later about a place where I can find toys in their millions all over the one roof. Do you know of anywhere?
Yeah. I'll DM you.
Cool.
Anyway.
You and your friends are in a tavern. Favourite jokes.
Well done. What was I? Yes, he got stuck on one of the planets, just spinning round and round and round for the whole 2 minutes.
It was the first one.
It was the first. Yeah,
He literally stood off, and he couldn't get off the thing to get back onto the step that he was on.
Yeah, he couldn't even get out of the room. He was stuck spinning around for 2 entire minutes. And then, as time was ticking away, he made a last gasp attempt to sort of lunge for the steps to get out, and just fell on the floor and was locked in.
He face planted into the.
That's how the video for Wrecking Ball should have ended.
Now that is partially why I think this series of Crystal Maze is brilliant, because Richard Ayoade's handling of that was great. He could have taken the piss really brutally.
Most episodes he is.
He's actually quite nice to this lot, but still really funny. Like they're all watching in disbelief as this guy fails to do anything, and he's just like, this is becoming existential.
Wow.
Now, Richard Ayoade does make the new.
Yeah.
Let's say he's a good fit.
I think you need to watch more than 2 episodes.
Maybe
the thrust of that.
Oh, that old chestnut.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, it's a weak pilot. Stick with it for a series and a half. Fuck off! I got shit to do.
I mean, there's definitely a cut off, but if there's only been 6, 10 episodes, not many.
Okay,
it's a short.
Watch a few more. See what you think.
It's just I don't know. It's one of those ones where we did enjoy it watching it, me and Jen, but I did find myself sitting there thinking, this is like the epitome of a kind of lazy rehash. It's just.
See, I was worried it would be that, and I've not felt that at all. Because
it didn't seem. Apart from Richard Ayoade, it doesn't seem to have any.
He's really
soul.
Been himself.
Yeah, well, he's been allowed to cut loose and be his just kind of sarcastic,
sort of deconstruct it as well, like a lot of the.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I've seen comments saying that they absolutely hated Richard. And saying like, all he's doing is too downbeat, and I was like,
I think he's the best bit.
He's being him.
Okay.
That's what he does.
He couldn't do anything but
Comments were from R. O'Brien and Richard O.
No, there is one episode where he just goes, "Oh, are you that Richard?" No, I'm a different Richard. I can't stack up to him.
I quite like
Richard Armitage.
Whenever they do the bit where they beam out of the space zone, and he's just like, right, now let's commit to this poor special effect. Everyone stands still, and then they just beam out. Or like, if they're going in somewhere and they have to have safety equipment, he's like, when you go through this door, you're going to look different because of editing.
I do like the beaming one, because I think there was a charity episode. I can't remember who.
Steve Merchant, wasn't it? It was on the host.
No. It was.
He did a series of all celebrity teams before they did the main series, and they were all for charity.
It was Joey Essex.
Oh.
And it was a bit, I think when it got to that bit where they had to beam him into the next area, he was like, it doesn't believe it. And I think he was messing about a little bit. And actually the special effects stopped, and he actually went, it doesn't work, Joey, unless you believe.
What a guy.
What are the odds of his last name being Essex?
I know. I'd just be called Rob Kent.
Yeah.
Which is close enough, but not quite.
I've enjoyed it anyway. But.
Yeah.
Just move to iWade, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just the Apple version. Yeah. It's like the opposite. Yeah, we've been watching a little bit more telly recently, and that's just the one that kind of caught my eye. I mean, most of the time with the stuff we watch is like Come Dine With Me, which is we like shows where people are angry and or bitchy to other people. I don't know what it is about that particular combination. So it's things like Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares and Come Dine With Me, and what's the Four in a Bed, the hotel one?
Oh my god, I hate Four in a Bed so much. Sorry,
have you seen that show?
No, but is it? No, I'm not going to do that again.
No,
it's like that's the sort of long Sundays at the in-laws.
Yeah.
Used to be Four in a Bed, and I used to want to kill them all.
Yeah, so the premise is basically 4 hotel owners.
There's a bed, and they've got to get 4 celebrities squeezed into it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the trick. Is like, but also the bed is like rocking, like Takeshi's Castle,
or like a bucking bronco.
Do you know? Actually, you might like it. Now I think about it, it's.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mental.
It's hosted by Craig Bierko. Reasons. He wasn't doing anything else. But yeah, the 4 in a bed is 4 bed and breakfast owners stay in each other's hotels,
Right.
and then they pay what they think it would be worth.
Okay, so it's a bit like wife swap, but with black mold.
Kind of, yeah. So they all go with the fine-tooth comb round the room, and they're
and
like
pubes
looking
in
for
the toilet,
every
yeah.
nitpicky thing they can possibly
Right,
find.
gotcha.
And the objective of the game is to be the one who gets closest to or over your actual price of entry. So if you know, let's say for argument's sake, we were playing 4 in a train right now,
Yeah.
and Blake's room is, he charges £100 a night for it, and we all stay there, and we all think it's a shocking show of shit,
Yeah.
and we all pay £30. He's out by like £210.
But he's a Bitcoin millionaire and doesn't care.
Exactly, yeah. He's just like, whatever, bitches.
I can't hear you over all this money.
I'm be
I
off.
hope you enjoyed your stay in my solid gold B&B.
I'm off to build a mechanical leopard.
Next door to Trump Tower.
This mattress is shit.
I wouldn't mind, but they had the dragon.
If you'll excuse me, I'm off to build a mechanical leopard. So that's the premise basically. So it's just they go they and like I say, it just results in them being inordinately bitchy to each other. Yeah. And what they end up doing is they make them open the envelopes containing the cash in front of each other, and then they read off like the feedback form at the end. It's just it's just kind of car crash TV, but sometimes that's all you're in the mood for, right?
Yeah,
You know what I've noticed about those shows? Not just that one, but
Come Dine With Me and stuff like that.
The worst crime that anyone who's on one of those shows can commit is to be perceived to be playing a game. Oh, I don't like Gemma because she's really playing a game here. And I was like, but you're literally all on
this is a game show.
Yeah. You guys wake up.
Wasn't enough for nothing. We're not going to disparage that. We got a whole show about it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I saw 5 minutes of Come Dine With Me once and just wanted to end it.
Yeah.
Just the show.
No, just
hang in there. It's a fixed length.
Yeah, I watched that 5 minutes and it doesn't feel like it. What is that show about?
It's just they cook for each other and then they're like, eat out of shit.
Yeah.
Again, it's just like
it's for length.
And they have pretend arguments.
The after dinner entertainment they seem to struggle.
Yeah, they walk around the house. They open each other's cupboards. They find Brad hanging from one of them.
Yeah,
I've never understood that.
Go to Richard Ayoade's house, find the ghost of Ed Tudor-Pole and Richard O'Brien hanging up in a cupboard.
They're haunting him like Marley and Marley.
Some weird, and you end up with some weird Skyrim quest where you've got to go and track down the sword of 1,000 men.
Yeah. The only TV show I'm watching is Star Trek Discovery.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
It's a hell of a fucking statement that I never thought I'd ever make. I am more excited about next week's episode of Star Trek than I am the next Star Wars movie.
What, Solo?
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, Solo, they've seemed to have bungled the marketing on it.
Have you watched this week's
Yes.
one? I haven't. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best twist ever. Incredible.
I must admit, I haven't watched it since it restarted. I need to.
Did you?
I don't have Netflix.
Okay. The most recent episode is just fuck.
Forget the most recent episode.
Fuck.
We'll spoil everything up to then.
Yeah.
Did you? I sort of spoiled the whole Vok Tyler thing for myself. But were you aware of that? Because
I was aware something was going on, but I didn't quite work.
I'll say because I'm interested to see if somebody went in cold, whether they'd have seen it coming. Because I read about it as a theory. I was like, I wasn't sure if it was true until about 2 episodes before, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely the case.
It's awesome. I mean,
I like the way you're phrasing your language to be spoiler free because I know you're not. You've historically.
I'm taking your beliefs into consideration.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Also, no, I'm 3 episodes behind. Please don't.
Yeah. No, you're probably all right.
Don't spoil this episode. Watch it because it's one of those twists you want to experience.
Cool. Also, have you noticed? Hang on, cover your ears again, I guess.
Oh, for God's sake.
Sorry, but when
this is going to be bad because I've got a logo la 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 into a mic.
A certain actress who was in the pilot reappeared as the Emperor. Yeah. Do you not think she just really looked like the Emperor from 40K? A
little bit.
Exactly.
The Emperor I was expecting to be Khan.
Yeah, that would have been good too.
Yeah. Okay, well, Blake,
anyway,
you're okay.
It's okay. You're safe. You're safe.
Why the fuck were you expecting James Caan?
One from Dragon's Den.
That's the guy. I just want to cuddle him.
Does Ricardo Montalban come back?
Yeah.
How good would that be?
I just want to cuddle him. James Caan from Dragon's Den. He just seems really nice.
When my wife was
even when he's like angry and shitty, he's
when my
not
wife was
that bad.
My wife was a bit younger. A company she was interning at, he was doing some work for her and came into the office a couple of times. I was so tempted to send her in with a copy of Rollerball and say, my boyfriend says you're really good in this. Could you sign it for him?
Messing with other halves should be an Olympic sport.
Oh yes.
Yeah, well, after the last time we campaigned, I don't think they're going to take us that seriously. But it's worth.
Apparently, that's not what Change.org is for.
Well, apparently not. But to be honest, I've looked at a few of them, and I still can't work out what it is for.
No, campaigning Disney to bring back the old expanded universe so far.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and did you see the thing where the guy who edited all the women out of Last Jedi?
Yeah, enjoy your 18-minute film.
Yeah.
46.
It doesn't count as a film, does it? It's just a series of nonsensical sentences.
I really wanted that to become, like there was a craze where B-movie, but every time they say the word B, it doubles in speed.
Yeah.
I wanted that to become the next one of those, where it's because somebody did a thing where they cut all the men out of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
It was 2 minutes and 26 seconds. And it was just a load of women looking wistful at gravesites.
Yeah. Yes. It was just loads of graves and then a tank trap and then some women looking sad.
There you go.
And that was it.
Yeah. I wanted it to start a thing, but it hasn't. It doesn't seem to have started the thing, which I was really hoping it would do.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. I'm trying to think of a good one. You
edit all the women out of Fury Road as a man who sneaks into a truck for no reason.
Toy Story, but every time the toys come to life, you cut it. So it's basically just a load of passing shots of people walking past, just toys on the floor.
Yeah.
Just looks like the untidiest fucking shithole in the world. Credits.
It's like that recent trend of Chuck Norris jokes with a punchline cropped out became funnier.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, I wanted it to become the next film, but blank is cut out, and I wanted that to become the next thing,
like Ghostbusters with no busters.
Yeah,
just anything like that.
Just be an apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Ghostbusters with no ghosts on screen. Just a bunch of 4 insane men and or women
running around
going, look, they're real, and then no evidence ever.
Just make a movie of Garfield minus Garfield. Have you seen that? Have you seen those cartoons?
Exactly. Yeah.
What's even better than Garfield minus Garfield, they only did a couple of strips of it, was Garfield minus Garfield plus a cat, where they photoshopped out Garfield and then drew in a photorealistic cat instead.
Did it talk?
No,
it
was like a
even
realistic
better.
cat.
It was just there.
Yeah.
Garfield minus Garfield is.
Oh my
Jim
God.
Davis loves it as well.
Yeah.
He's made no secret of the fact he fucking hates Garfield. But he's aware it pays his mortgage.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, many times over, I'd feel.
Yeah.
Unless he did one of those things where you didn't value your product high enough, and then you get like stitched up on the royalties in perpetuity forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Alec Guinness and Star Wars.
that sort of thing. Yeah, like the opposite of Jack Nicholson in Batman, basically.
Yeah.
He
still gets cuts, doesn't
he cut himself in on the
Batman movie in his
merchandise.
Isn't it also any Batman movie in his lifetime he gets a cut from?
Wow. Not sure. I think it might be specific to the Burton ones, but he gets a cut of.
No, he definitely got a cut from the Nolan movies as
really?
so technically classed as sequels. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. How is that classed as a sequel? Though?
I don't know, but
Batman Begins
how can
was
an
kind
origin
of a
story.
Batman Begins
Warner Brothers
probably
Batman
was.
movie.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Does that mean like BVS would count?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, Jack Nicholson, if you're
Justice
listening,
League.
Jack Nicholson,
So he can go out and get a pack of Rothmans through royalties he got from that.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson, if you're listening, and I have no reason to believe you're not, please feel free to email us at podcast@emotionally14.com and let us know, do you get royalties from Justice League? Because we're curious now. Would you, in fact, if he has a cameo in Aquaman, would you get royalties from that and all? That's what I want to know as well.
Does he get all of the animated movies?
I don't know.
Whoa, because that's a lot.
Yeah.
Getting a kickback from Mark Hamill.
I mean, that's not knocking the guy because he's done a lot of great work and he's getting on there. He doesn't have to work if he doesn't want to.
He had one Oscar for every decade at one point.
And he doesn't have to work if he doesn't want to.
Sure.
He's an older man now.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, does he need to work purely because of the Batman royalties? Is he okay? That's what I'm curious
Probably.
about. I'm not. I feel like I'm invading his privacy a little by speculating.
Boy, Jack.
Yeah.
Well, they were speculating at one point that he would make $60 million from Batman, the Tim Burton Batman, when it first came out, because it was obviously huge, and he cut himself in on the percentage of the actual takings. Yeah, merchandise and takings. Small percentage, but enough to mint himself.
Yeah.
The best story I've heard about him recently was apparently him and Michael Keaton stayed quite good friends after Batman.
Okay.
And he actually took Michael Keaton took Jack Nicholson to the premiere of Birdman.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And at the end of the movie, Michael Keaton said to him, "So what did you think of it?" Jack Nicholson's response was, "I'm really glad you made that movie so that I didn't have to."
Nice. My favourite Jack Nicholson.
That's the best Jack Nicholson impression you're going to get.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard way worse. Yeah.
From Jack sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I'm really glad you made that. Well, apparently,
you
Michael
know.
Walken is Jerry Seinfeld.
what's the deal? Kramer.
Deborah.
You've got sitcom dyslexia. My favourite Jack Nicholson story is a Robin Williams one. Apparently, they were it's a Graham Norton clip. It's like it was Robin Williams, Jennifer Saunders, and Elijah Wood as the guests, and it's a wonderful episode. And if you have the chance, I recommend checking it out.
What show? Sorry,
Graham Norton show.
Norton.
Yeah, and Elijah Wood's telling a story about how Jack Nicholson apparently walked out of Return of the King because he couldn't figure out which bit was the end. It has about 4, and he's like, "What happened?" He's like, "Well, Frodo went off with Gandalf into the Undying Lands. I didn't even see that. I walked out." But apparently, Robin Williams, when he won his Oscar for Good Will Hunting, I think that night Jack Nicholson won for As Good as It Gets or something like that, and he went, Robbo, now I've got one for every decade. And Robin Williams was like, "You bastard!" It's like damning with faint praise. Yeah, I love that story. It's
The great story I heard about Robin Williams is, you get charity golf games where you can bid so much and you can play a round of golf with Alice Cooper or Michael Douglas. All these guys are big golfers.
Yeah.
They put themselves up for auction. Money goes to charity. They get a round of golf in, and whoever pays for it gets to say, "Oh, I managed to golf Alice Cooper." Apparently, Robin Williams used to do the same for Warhammer 40k.
I heard this.
He had an Eldar army,
Yeah.
and you could bid to play Robin Williams at his local games workshop.
Is this real?
This is true.
Yeah,
story.
He was a massive.
He was a
40K.
It sounds like the sort of
40K
thing you
player.
make up.
There were
but
loads-
you're saying it in a
No,
really serious way.
No, you could play to have a charity game with Robin Williams, and apparently he would do commentary as he played,
Right.
and sometimes he would bring his friend Billy Crystal as well.
My life will never be complete.
You could
because
bid.
I've missed out
You
on
could bid
that.
to play 40k with Robin Williams and Billy
Nora.
Crystal.
What?
Now, if you were to ask somebody in 1989,
I'd be
Yeah.
happy playing Space Hulk with Mitch Hedberg.
yeah. Well, we're not going to get much done without a shovel.
What? My Space Hulk's just on. Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah.
No.
On my shelf. Yeah.
I mean, if you said like Brian Posehn or someone, I'd understand it from him.
Like Will Friedle.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I get it. They
Yeah.
play Warhammer, of course they do. But
Yeah. Trey Parker plays 40k.
yeah, again, that makes sense.
And because I had a Facebook friend did commission painting for him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, Robin Williams, there's a lot of, if you go on Reddit, there's a particular thread that was all about Robin Williams, and it was loads of anecdotes about how they ran into him at a 40k Warhammer Games Workshop, and they would just talk to him for hours about 40k.
wow.
And then he would play, and he would watch, like you said about doing the commentary, he would watch other people play and start just commenting on their games and stuff. It's just, can you imagine,
I know.
like-
That's
what would be our equivalent? Fucking Jack Whitehall turns up. Like, what world do we, I want off. I'll jump off this planet. That pasty-faced cunt.
Yeah, you say that, but on the other hand, playing Managers of Madness with Eddie Izzard, there's an experience.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Oh my god.
Oh, gone mental.
Big Monster Up says,
Oh, all right. I'm going to move.
you're probably just
Don't
going
worry,
to
I've got a spoon.
you go
It's not even
to
in the deck. I know.
Go to the kitchen, got one.
you go to a room. You're like, oh, I think I'd better go and just go to another room.
Oh, excuse me. It seems to have stumbled across the wrong room. Do apologise. Yeah, that would. Yeah, okay, that one I'll give you. But like, or something like, or even like video games. If you're just having a game,
Brag it with Jack D.
Brag It with Jack D would be good. I don't believe a word of that. Damn it. Yeah, or like video game playing Rocket League with Peter Serafinowicz. Why not?
Yeah. There's lots of things. See, it's not that bad. It's not all.
It's not as bad as all that.
It's not all Jack Whitehall.
No, I know, but it just feels like it is. Because he's just fucking everywhere. This is what happens. This is why I don't watch TV. Is because I haven't watched TV in a while. Turn it
Jack
on. Oh,
Whitehall.
hello. My daddy's famous. Basically it. Yeah. But then to be fair, that's also Michael McIntyre without the daddy famous bit.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like Lee Evans, but I'm rich.
Never realised you don't see him and Stewie Griffin in the
No, you
same
don't.
place at
It's
the
true.
same time.
No, it's true. Very true. Yeah. He's like, he gets on his show. He's like, wow, McIntyre. Yep. Yeah. So this is why I don't watch TV anymore, because every time I turn it on, it's just
Whitehall.
just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just fucking everywhere. Like, and it's just the same 5 things seem to be on TV at any given time when I turn it on.
Yeah.
Right.
My only real charisma of Jack Whitehall is he loops material a lot.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah.
probably
I
just
remember
'cause
seeing him. He would do 2 shows in a week on different channels, and he would do the same gags.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you probably don't think you got the same audience, and then maybe one was filmed a couple of weeks
Yeah,
before.
exactly,
You
yeah,
cast it, and that's
possible.
kind of fine. But you look at someone like Hugh Dennis, who'll do 2 TV shows and 3 radio shows in a week, and doesn't loop any material.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a sign that he's on too much. Like, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is it.
I do really, really love Hugh Dennis.
That's fair, though,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. Yeah.
I meant Jack Whitehall, not Hugh Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Then
Playing
he's something-
Tekken with Morecambe and Wise.
Yeah, I will.
Oh my god, yes.
Bit easy.
Someone was shut. Oh, right,
Not tag, not tag tournament.
Oh, okay. R1.
Yeah. Playing Marvel vs. Capcom with Bill Bailey.
Yeah.
Oh,
screw.
Captain America.
That's the Bill Bailey punchline. Is always woodland animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of. Yeah, but you can forgive it because he's just so delightfully
Yeah, but he
endearing.
kind of made that his thing as
Yeah.
well.
He's just so
He owns
delightfully
it.
endearing. They used to be Part Troll, the comedy album, used to be my.
That's like the dark side of stand-up albums.
Yeah, it
It's
was
incredible.
It was. I used to have it on my iPod, and I didn't have a lot of music on my iPod at the time. And I was living in France, so obviously there was an opportunity.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It was great. Thanks anyway.
Oh yeah, that's the thing you did.
That
Isn't
is
it?
the
I
thing
totally
I did.
forgot.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry
Before
on.
it was after I met you, or just before?
After you, because you left cinema to go to France. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
then-
if
so
you
I
were
met
there for
you,
the first
and then-
bit,
and then you came back,
Because
yeah.
I remember you were
Yep.
there for the second bit. I can remember if you were there for the first bit or not.
I was,
Some people
I was just there for the first bit.
Yeah,
You're
just
actually,
about.
you're, racist, no, you're actually fluent in French, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see on his
I
other
have.
podcast, Le TGV d'Insanity.
Bienvenue. C'est mon Pierre. Ma Pierre. Blake l'appréciateur.
A Chateau Rouge.
Direction des pics.
C'est si belle.
Et Brad Frappeur de Barn. I don't
So my
know.
wife's fluent in French, and I'm just sat here like tuck and roll from Bugs Life going,
She lived in Switzerland. I mean, that kind of counts, I guess.
yeah.
Calculatrice.
Which is what happens when a cockerel lays an egg on a dung pile and becomes an ambitious monster.
Yeah.
I'm back in the crypto
In my fanfic.
It's a basilisk.
I'm a long roach.
But yeah, there's a couple of guys on my team at work who are French, and I've yet to let on that I understand. Every now and then, I'm tempted to just drop in, like not drop into the conversation, but just kind of.
I know what you said about me.
No, but that's it. There's this kind of paranoid part of my brain that's just like, what if I miss something really juicy because they suddenly start guarding themselves?
They know that
yeah,
you can hear
they'll
from
just start guarding.
Break it to him gently, like, psycho killer. I know what all of it means.
The old ketchup song.
Yeah.
All bollocks.
Yep.
Don't need to speak Spanish to know that. That's why I know. Not enough. Yeah, but yeah, that Part Troll was like a looped thing. It was that the most recent Placebo album at the time, which I think was I don't even let me think. So the one that had Bitter End on it, and I can't think what it was fucking called. Someone that had ghosts on the front.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
it had
I'm
a
not-
bit-
I'm not-
one.
Not a fan.
It had a bloke.
Well, not
it had
an fan.
it had a bloke and a ghost bitch, and they were
That's
like
literally the lineup of Placebo.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Bloke ghost bit. Yeah, all right. Fine. Which one's the bit? All right, never mind.
I saw them
Nice.
supporting Metallica weirdly.
They have one of their live DVD was one of my favourites for a long time. It's really good.
They were. I never got massively into them, but they were
No,
fine.
that's good. I
Yeah.
really liked it.
Same.
Yeah.
He had Billy Corgan singing like a goat voice for.
Little bit. Yeah. Yeah. But I was listening to Melancholy and Infinite Sadness today on that note. And I was just sitting there thinking, this man owns WCW technically.
Nice.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Didn't he buy himself out of that?
Probably.
I thought when it was all going a bit under, I thought that's when he got annoyed because he wasn't getting.
You're saying that despite all his rage.
Yeah. Just.
Had to face Dixie Carter in a cage.
Saying despite all his rage, he couldn't re-sign Christian Cage. He's retired. He
Is
should-
TNA still going?
kind of.
Okay,
Like-
limping along.
Yeah. It turns out you can make a lot of things go if you've just minted from. You can
Yeah.
just make any old toss work. But yeah, like
It's an easy life being a tax write-off or an oil billionaire.
Basically, yeah, it must be tough. Yeah, it's weird to see, like I say, they're limping along. Meanwhile, Raw 25th anniversary was yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a weird setup.
And TNA is second place in wrestling companies, but it's kind of like in the same way that Jaws 2 is the second best Jaws movie.
I don't know that it is second anymore. I think Ring of Honor might have taken over.
Oh, really?
So
I thought you were about to slag off the original Jaws then. And
No.
Words.
No, I like Jaws. I did miss the scare, the big scare, because I was talking and then I just heard the music cue and it made me go, "Oh, what was that?" Yeah, somebody theorized the other day. I haven't had a chance to test it, but I read somebody on Twitter saying that you could get through any horror movie if you mute it, because most of the cues come from music.
Yeah,
most of it comes from sort of choral swells and things like that.
Best tip I heard is you can get through any horror video game if you pretend you're Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah, all right, I'll go with that. They've got
all the ghost levels aren't that scary, are they?
I reckon I could go back to... No, I couldn't go back to Project Zero. Not even Geralt would go back to Project Zero.
No. If he looks at it and he's just like, I can't fuck it. I only played it and I know this. I was watching... talking about a lot of stuff just generally that we like. It's kind of turned out nice. I didn't expect this to be the theme, but it's just kind of ended up being stuff we like, which is always nice. Which is nice sometimes. But I've been watching a lot of the Conan O'Brien Clueless Gamer videos, which if you haven't seen them, they're superb.
That sounds like.
But
fun.
he did The Witcher 3, and he was basically just obsessed with finding somebody to have sex with. It's just him going all the way through. He finally gets to a point where he's copping off, and he's just like, he's got a mate sat there with him who sort of talks him through the game, who actually has played it before, because Conan doesn't know what the fuck he's doing otherwise.
Right.
That's the whole theme of the show, is like he doesn't really play games, but he's going to have a go anyway and review them, because
Sounds like my job.
It's, like I say, if you get a chance, watch it. In fact, I may just stick one on while we're because we'll record after this, and maybe between shows I'll stick one on, because and there's a point where he finally gets to a point where he's having sex in the game, and he just turns to his mate and goes, "Get the fuck out!" Doesn't say fuck, I don't think, but he's like, "Get out!" And he just leaves, and he comes back, and his hair's all matted, and he's like, "Wow, I love this game." Yeah, his Skyrim one is also jolly good fun.
Yeah.
Because,
also, in the games we play with comedians, I would play the fuck out of a Witcher if Sean Locke re-edited Geralt's voice.
Oh my god, yes. That would be amazing. But then I would go for... Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'd replay Arkham Knight even if Joe Pasquale did the voice. So. I am vengeance. I am the knight. I'm Batman. It'd be great. Maybe.
Wasn't it weird?
The combat's still fun.
He used to come in where we worked, didn't he?
Yeah.
And that was always weird because he just had a normal man's voice.
No, he didn't though.
Well, when I spoke to him, he was like, he was a fairly.
He's not as he goes squeakier
like,
for.
Oh, yeah.
He goes squeakier
like,
for comedic
hello.
effects, but he has got a higher pitch than average.
But like
tone,
within the normal accepted human range,
it's
which
not
is TV voice.
It's not as jarring, yeah, because obviously he plays it up for But he has got a squeakier voice than your average.
I remember him being really excited to see the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek.
Okay.
He's like, is it any good? Is it any good? To me, and I was like, yeah, I loved it. I watched it the night before, and he's like, oh, great. And he was really excited, but would talk like a normal human, and I was very disappointed.
I know what you mean, because I was working one night and he was in, because he was local, so he's fairly in fairly frequently, but you wouldn't necessarily pick up on it because he was just an unassuming dude. Yeah. He's not jumping around saying, I'm Joe Pasquale, obviously, because he just wants to get on with his life. More power to him. But he came up and he was like, oh, sorry, I've just, just before I go in, what screen is this in? I was just like, oh, number 7. And he's like, oh, thanks. And he walked off, and I was like, oh, that was him.
Delayed reaction. Yeah,
it just took me a while. I do that with celebrities generally, because obviously working in London, I see a lot of them. Like I once saw Rod Gilbert in Piccadilly, just walking across like in like over the road from the sort of main statue, which is supposed to be Eros but isn't. But I never looked up who it actually. But I just call it the statue of Eros because I'm simplistic and people-minded.
We know.
But so I saw Rod Gilbert walking across the road, and I walked across the road, and I was thinking, this guy's familiar, and it didn't twig until I walked past, and I was literally about to turn around and go, Rod Gilbert!
It's probably a good thing that you didn't.
Yeah, I think so.
I asked Griff Rhys Jones for directions and didn't realise it was him until after he walked away.
Yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times. I walked in...
Just with Griff Rhys Jones?
Yeah. I was walking through near Tottenham Court Road once, and I walked past somebody, and I almost bumped into them as I came around the corner. And it was only after I walked past I went, that was Peter Seraphinowicz's. I was so excited for like an hour.
It happens it's like a daily occurrence when we go to the Fringe as well.
Yeah, no, of course,
like,
yeah, that
because
makes sense.
they're just everywhere. It's like really concentrated little soup of people who you know vaguely from the TV. Yeah, like we went to see Ostentatious. I don't know if you heard of that. They tore it as well, but it's a fringe thing. They improvised Jane Austen.
Harriet Lloyd.
Yes, but before she was on TV, we saw it, and we were convinced we knew her from somewhere, and we caught her afterwards and like, what have you done? We really think we recognise you from something. She was like, nothing I've done. I've just done this, really. I haven't done anything. But then, like, literally, that October, I guess, we saw her on QI, and it's like, there, it's her!
Yeah.
Quick! I was like, babe, come in here, quick, it's that bird from the thing. But
That bird from that show about people.
Yeah, but it must have been really weird that even before she'd actually been on TV, me and the wife are grilling her about what she's
I really
done.
like her. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's very nice as well.
What's it called? I'm still thinking of comedians I'd play games with.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Probably play Monopoly with Michael McIntyre, just say I had.
Yeah.
Just, like, even though...
Which version of Monopoly?
Does it matter? Does it matter?
No.
Have you heard of class struggle? Apparently that's the thing now. There's,
What about, were you talking about games, I take it?
Yeah, it's the...
Because you just said, have you heard of class struggle? I was
No,
like,
it's the
I'm familiar
Marxist
with
version of Monopoly.
Yeah. Oh, good.
It's...
More joy.
Yeah, no...
Because if there's one thing I felt like Monopoly was over the top on its whimsy.
Apparently
needs
it's
to
really
be
hot
a
on
television
eBay,
show
right?
which is just David Mitchell playing D&D.
I would watch the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Is he playing or is he Dungeon Master?
I don't care.
Perhaps he's playing it with himself.
As all the characters.
Yeah, that could be good.
Yes.
That would take the spontaneity out of it a little bit. But...
I've got it better. David Mitchell's the DM. Robert Webb is all the other characters.
And Super Hands.
But Robert Webb playing Jeremy from Peep Show.
Actually, I think it'd be better if he was the DM because he'd be No,
sorry, you're pointing at me.
I'm just gesticulating. If Robert Webb was
Get
the
that in my face.
DM, and then David Mitchell would just be losing his shit, getting infuriated as a player.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Yeah, because you expect the GM to be on putting rules down and players fucking around to invert it would work really well.
Yes.
Bloody hell, is that it?
I invested hours into my character. You're telling me you get shot through the head with a fucking arrow?
The BBC researchers are very ridiculous.
I could also go for Robert Webb, DM, David Mitchell, and Victoria Corrin Mitchell, other players. As a group, as a pair, being all the other characters.
And
be a nice juxtaposition.
Rob Brydon as every NPC.
Yes! Yes! In the same way, I want to get him as NPCs for this.
Doing his Terry Wogan and Ronnie Corbett voices.
It's Gambru's here.
I just have to do a series of Mansions of Madness played with celebrity guests.
Yeah.
I want to play it with Dee Snider.
Vin Diesel.
I think Steve Coogan.
He's a
totally.
fan of D&D, so Vin Diesel would be an easy get.
I think Steve Coogan would be a good one.
But yeah, just in general.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing. I was a bit like,
voices.
that'd be cool, but I can't think of a game. It'd just be any game.
Again,
It wouldn't matter.
Again, Steve Coogan, if you're listening, the invitation is still open from last episode.
Yeah. Dear Steve Coogan, yeah, do you want to play Speedball at some point?
This would be the one time.
You'd invited him to fucking battle.
I was going to say, this would be the one time where Blake breaks the Battletech board out. Steve Coogan's coming round.
Well, it's a special occasion.
Yeah, well, true.
We get a reply from him. It's just, sure, but I want to be Jade Falcon.
Yeah.
Clanner.
Blood Bowl with Brian Blessed.
Just commentary.
I've just gone there.
Yeah.
Turn over!
Both down!
Defender stumble.
Crowd's gone wild. It's a wild animal.
The fan for a rock.
Are we restricting ourselves by limiting it only to comedians? Because I feel like I could happily sit and play Twilight Imperium with Liam Neeson.
Poor. That would have gravitas.
Yeah,
It would.
you know what I mean?
Star Wars.
Don't know where you've hidden your base.
Star Wars
I will
with
find
Hayden Christensen.
No.
Sorry, Hayden, you're not even worth a board game
No.
on this train.
Sorry, mate.
Make the tea. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just fuck it.
Oh, he can do everything now.
Anyone. Christopher Walken. I don't know.
Yeah.
Every time someone bitches about how Ray is like overpowered, I feel he's just a gesture at BB-8.
It's possible for both things to be true.
Yeah.
Although I would actually say that the Rey thing bothers me less after watching Last Jedi because they actually built in some depth.
Yeah.
That was always that's nice.
She wasn't that overpowered.
No,
in
she
comparison.
had a couple of moments, but it was still more easily kind of explained away. You were in the screening with me, by the way.
Yeah, again. Yeah.
But this time I waved and I don't think you saw me.
I guess not. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Just saying, I'm over it. I feel like bringing it up every time I see you.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I'm over it.
All right.
But yeah, no. I noticed this the other day actually because I went to see Last Jedi and although it annoys me, everybody's going. You can only, you really have to watch it twice. You really have to watch it twice. It's like I can make my mind up about any other film once. I don't understand why Star Wars is special. Because the other films have twists in, and other films have things where I'm surprised, but it doesn't require me to go and see it again to enjoy it. You know what I mean? And this is not to say I didn't enjoy The Last Jedi, because overall I liked it fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm noticing that everybody who's on board, like, there's a few people who don't like that BB-8 seems to be able to do fucking everything. It's become a multi-tool within a ball.
R2 was that though, sure.
But that's the thing. The same people I found who on board with BB-8 are the same people who derided R2 in the prequels for being able to be like a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
But they're okay with BB-8 being able to, pilot an AT-ST, even though it would have made far more sense for Benicio del Toro to have hacked it. Am I wrong?
We can't because everyone just fell silent. Yeah.
Yeah. Boom. Like, mic drop. These are expensive. I won't actually drop.
Don't drop it.
No. But yeah,
I'm sure they'll retcon it.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure it's entirely possible. I feel like the Star Wars,
hacked BB-8.
the new trilogy is like a back and forth of like JJ goes, here's some cool threads, and Ryan's like, fuck you, I don't like those threads.
These threads.
Here are no threads. And JJ's like, all right, well, I can go anywhere with this. And Ryan's like, fuck, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Back and forth bitch slap fight.
I do like that. I'm as much as I think it's annoyed a lot of people. I really enjoyed the just stomping on the bugs of
fan theories.
Yeah, exactly.
I liked it. I had my
2
theories,
years
but-
of who is Rey, who is Snoke, and it's just like no one.
Yeah.
None of it matters.
Yeah.
Oh, but
To be honest, I
enjoyed the balls of
I had
that.
my theories, but I still enjoyed that they did that. It's like
Because-
it's possible to do both.
Well, as much as everyone had a theory, it's like people didn't know what they wanted. People wanted to know what it was, but they wanted to be surprised.
Yeah.
But everybody spent 2 years discussing it to such intimate detail
Yeah.
that no answer would be satisfactory.
Except no answer.
Except
Yeah.
Except a complete rug pull. So that's
Yeah.
what
So no answer would be satisfactory works as a sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to say, obviously, being part of I'm having to be on Talk Star Wars like basically every week and to do this stuff, because I wasn't, before I did that show, I wasn't a speculation guy at all. I would distance myself from any of that stuff just because I wanted to go in and be surprised.
Yeah.
But I got, I've been exposed to it ever since then, and it's constant. But the film still managed to make me go, oh, okay,
Oh.
yeah. I was like, oh, cool. But I would have been fine with one of the answers we speculated on, because we had so many that one of them theoretically had to be wrong, because we'd covered everything from fucking Snoke's Jocasta Nu.
Infinite Monkeys, yeah.
Yeah. Not in the archives. It exists.
Oh, how convenient.
Maybe you can't admit you fucked up Jocasta Nu. Have you thought about that? You got a USB stick somewhere, you're like, bollocks, I meant to upload this. The cloud storage icon saying transferring, it's been going for weeks and nobody's thought to check.
Did you pull it out before you saved it?
But at work, every time I turn the PS4 on, I've got my new job is running video game parties for kids, taking loads of consoles to houses and halls and things, and setting them all up with loads of screens and projectors and that, and they all. But every time I turn the PS4 on, it berates me for turning it off
At the mains.
unproperly, because the only way you can get the kids to stop playing is to walk to the one socket where everything's plugged in and just flick the switch, and they all go oh, and go have their cake or whatever.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you have to like individually go and prise the
Yeah.
controllers out of their hands. But yeah, so I have to deal with the PS4 telling me off like multiple times every day. It's pretty funny.
I love
It's scolding. It's properly like hectoring at its tone.
how passive aggressive technology has become.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm.
PS4, you can turn the PS4 on, it's just like, apparently you didn't want me to work properly. That's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
I hope you like a bar checking that I'm not corrupted for the next half an hour.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm presuming you weren't attached to that save data.
the computer equivalent of standing up in his bedroom and playing Linkin Park, isn't it?
Fuck you, not my
You're
real
just going to
dad.
get a slow 1%, 2%.
Checking my hard drive.
I will verify these errors. Yeah, it does feel like, fuck you, you're not my real dad. I was made in the factory. So we had a couple of questions in the mailbag, but actually we can do one of two things.
Questions.
I had a theoretical one that I wanted to chuck out into the mix at some point, but
Theoretical question.
yeah,
What?
what of it? Like an existential one.
Look at it, Blake.
But I can find that's fine if you just want to go with
You can
the.
find a practical
Yeah, that's fine. I can go for the
physical one.
Physical.
What a physical question would be even weirder than a hypothetical one.
I
So
just thought it was like a made-up question.
no, we have
Actual
we have
form.
two questions. I'm going to do the bottom one first because it's theoretically quicker.
Okay.
So Cat or @Cloud Zombie, I believe you're familiar with, Blake.
Aware of her.
That's nice. That's love right there. She
bombed.
asks, what are you excited for in 2018? So I was thinking, in order to keep this kind of compact, because theoretically we could go for a while on this, maybe restrict it to a movie, or like you could have a couple of movies and no TV or something like just kind of a small smattering of the stuff you're excited for, like, you know, if you fancy doing that.
What's out this year?
That this year. So
That's the
Well,
mad
I would
scramble I'm
say
doing.
I'll do mine first because that's the only one I can think.
okay.
And I know that there's a lot of worry about is it going to be good, is it going to be crap or whatever. But I'm looking forward to Infinity.
Cool.
I think it's been building up for years. It's a make or break point for the Marvel Universe. I mean, if this film doesn't culminate,
They've got
Being is-
20 apparently on the slate for after Infinity War.
but I think it's a big build up.
Yeah, totally.
This is like a
It,
capstone.
but I mean, yeah, if this film really bombs, then that's
Yeah.
going to be the superhero thing dead.
Yeah, it's
I don't think it will, but okay.
No.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't see it happening. But I'm just saying it's a big
Yeah.
arc.
It's
Basically.
it's for payoff.
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be one of those movies that is going to be quite messy pace-wise.
Yeah, I am worried about how it's going to be pulled off because I know they're doing it over 2 films.
I don't think they are anymore. I heard somewhere
Are they
that
not?
they've just dropped it down to a single
No.
film.
Well, Infinity War is one, and then there'll be another one next year,
They've
which
kind of
hasn't. Which is
it's not called
untitled.
Infinity War, but it's
But
got
there's
some
two,
sort of tie.
there is still 2 Avengers movies, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
not Infinity War 1 and Infinity War 2.
Fair
It's
enough.
Infinity War and untitled second Avengers movie.
I think they should just go with that and be bold. Like,
Somebody called-
coming 2019, untitled second Avengers movie. Technically it's Avengers 4, but who's counting, right?
Avengers, we might have a Fantastic Four by this point.
Yeah, could be. Even more Infinity War.
Avengers 1602.
Infinity plus one war.
Oh God! What that would be is an HBO series.
Yeah.
I'd watch the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. While we're on Marvel.
Oh, yeah,
movies.
that's coming out this year.
because that was
Yeah.
kind of a surprise for me how much I enjoyed the first one.
It's a pleasant surprise of a movie. I
Yes.
think color palettes are a big thing with Marvel. As a reason that you can kind of go in and go, ooh,
Yeah.
because that's very
Ooh, shiny.
well. To be honest, if I'm sure there's kind of
Well, Ragnarok was very colourful.
There you go.
Oh my.
Just saying, and
I like
I
this
love that
80s
movie.
revival stuff and all this wave stuff, Stranger Things stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of
It's cool.
That's
Yeah.
kind of a zeitgeist
Yeah.
moment. I don't remember being the 80s quite so magenta as everyone else seems to think.
I don't
No.
remember the 80s full stop. So
Okay.
No,
sorry.
no.
All right, baby Spike.
Oh wow. No, you're younger than me, aren't you?
No,
Oh yeah. I'm a few.
I was born in
Yeah.
1986.
Yeah, thanks, Blake.
Papa used to
Cunt.
dance for the money they'd throw.
Yeah.
I don't know about Infinity War. I will go see. Solo, I will go see. But as we just mentioned, I'm not feeling the hype on Solo.
I'm not sure
Not
I'm going to
seen-
do.
I'm going to see it.
Not seen
and
anything to go
gonna
on
be.
yet.
But from what I've heard, I think it'll be fun. It's got Woody Harrelson in. He's usually a good sign. The movie's good.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh my god, he's great in 3 Billboards.
I've heard nothing but good things about
Like
that.
he's fantastic in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I loved him so much.
Next week's episode of Star Trek Discovery, I'm really
That
looking
counts,
forward
yeah.
to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So apart from Infinity War, is Black Panther this year? Actually, that's
Yeah.
another one
Next
which has
month.
been doing
Oh,
The
something.
the trailers look great.
I haven't seen the trailer. For
Oh, they're
it.
brilliant.
Okay, I'll
Really,
look
really
those
cool.
up. Yeah. No, that
the
looks
last few
quite
episodes of
fun.
Rebels.
Oh yeah, they're finished. Actually,
Yeah, that-
I think it's a brave move to actually go. Yeah, we're going to stop. We're going to finish
Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than just letting it peter.
Well, they're
out like
running-
kids' cartoons tend to.
They're running up to New Hope now in
Yeah.
terms of timeline. And
Okay.
have you heard the best thing about the last few episodes? Palpatine's in it. Ian McDiarmid.
That's my boy.
Sam Witwer came out and said basically, yeah, it's not me doing the voice, but to be honest, I kind of had to give it up for this guy.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. But
Oh,
he's
I'm
got a
erect.
good Palpatine, but at the same time, if you're going to get
Yeah.
the main event,
That's
you
superb.
really have to, don't you?
Yeah.
I haven't
that's
actually watched
amazing.
Series 4 yet because
Oh,
I've only done the first 2 series, so don't worry about spoilers.
The season. No, that's just the season pass situation is bullshit this year. Like it's already bullshit because we're 3 weeks behind the States, and we have to be aware of spoilers for 3 fucking weeks, which is outrageous. Which is in the modern age of social media,
fucking eternity.
It's bullshit. It's really just it's really hard to justify that to me.
Well, it's like what
another thing I thought was weird. I was looking on the Amazon store for ages. It wasn't there, and then all of a sudden, the whole first half was there. Literally, it just went bam there, and you could buy the entire.
It's weird how hard it is to find.
Like, but I swear, look, when Series 3 came out, they were releasing it an episode at a time.
Yeah. So
that's why I thought it was strange that it wasn't there when I just did a cursory check for it to see if it was coming out.
There's a lot of stuff they're doing. There's a lot of stuff they're doing wrong with the. Not with the actual series. I hear the series 4 is brilliant, but in terms of how they're delivering,
how they release it weirdly.
Like I say, it's awful. Like a week apart. Okay, I can stay off social media for a week and avoid. You can mute hashtags and things like that, which is not a problem. But 3 fucking weeks is a long time to mute
when you're on the Star Wars podcast.
Exactly. Well, that's also that. Like when Twin Sons, the episode with Obi-Wan and Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh
but when that came on, I was asked to talk about it when it had aired in the States, and I was like, I haven't seen it, because it's not out yet, and I'm not up to date. But then I had to go and watch it just to fucking get up to date, but it's because we're going to talk about it. So I was like, I can't avoid these things anymore. It's not
a problem though.
Was that Series 3 or Series 4?
Series 3.
The end of Series 3, I think.
The last couple of episodes of Series 3.
3 or 3 episodes.
It's dead good. It's like it's like an old Satoichi movie. It's the end of it. You'll love it.
I own Series 3 and you can watch it.
That's nice of you, Blake. Charitable man.
Well, no, he has access to my library.
So it's more that you're banged to rights.
It's more that he has permission to sort of hack into it.
Yeah. So you said Black Panther.
The video game wise, new God of War.
That'd be cool.
Been hyped for that for years, and we've finally got a release date.
I was going to talk about it more on Gamecast, but they released a new trailer for it.
Yeah, 20th April.
I
didn't want to get in there, but I got a video game thing before Rob and Blake did.
Whilst I was a bit hyped, that new trailer, I was like, "Oh, I'm really hyped for it now." It's such a good trailer.
I haven't seen this new trailer yet, but I'm going to have to now because I really.
I'll show it to you.
All right, cool. In between Conan O'Brien videos.
Yeah.
Tabletop wise, I keep hearing rumours Epic's coming back to 40k.
Yeah, I heard that.
But it's going to be Horus Heresy setting, which I will be all over.
That's pretty good.
Star Wars Legion, I'm still kind of curious about.
I'm still not sold on that price point. I know you sent me the picture of the model side by side of the ATSTs.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's worth the price.
I think
it's a little pricey. Especially now that Games Workshop seems
I'm
to be
tempted by the
together.
Nemesis Kickstarter, and if that arrives, that'll be September time. I'll see if I can put together some cash for that.
Yeah.
Just it basically like Alien.
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
That's about it.
Yeah, fair enough. I saw a good trailer the other day. Made me excited for the movie.
Yes.
And now I can't remember the name of the fucking movie. Annihilation, based on a book apparently.
All right.
It's Natalie Portman, Oscar Isaac, so you get Padme and Poe Dameron's beautiful face.
Right.
Which is, those are 2 ticks on the box of I'm going to see the fuck out of this thing. If all they could do is put Ben Mendelsohn in the Krennic outfit, and that would do it for me.
What's he?
Mankosh is a
oh my cameo appearance.
Oh my royalties.
That's it. Sorry, I've been trying to remember. Ben Mendelsohn is the bad guy. Something I'm looking forward to. I've been trying to remember. It's Ready Player One.
Oh,
he's out this year.
Oh, really? He's the bad guy in that. Nice.
I think he's the guy. He's from IOI or whatever. The evil corporation. He's
right.
Like the head of it. I'm sure he is.
I need to finish reading that.
Oh, my appearances.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence of it, but recently picked up the audiobook. So.
Yeah, I think I started that off, but it's Will Wheaton. So.
It's not terrible for that though.
No, okay.
He just reads it.
If it barely registers, then
it's just a person reading it.
Yeah,
He doesn't know.
It's one of those.
Even when he mentions it, because Will Wheaton is actually in the book. He's mentioned in the book.
Oh, okay.
I was really expecting him to sort of make a meal of it, but he doesn't. He scoots over it. So.
And me.
Yeah.
Anybody says "shut up, Wesley," I'll block them. That'll show 'em.
Yeah, that was just worth it.
Admit they got.
That was just worth it for Patrick Stewart's tweet.
But I've seen everything.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, I can't really block him.
Cards Against Humanity narrated by Patrick Stewart.
David Bowie on a
Actually,
tiger made of light.
again, I'd play most things with Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
I'd watch Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen playing Cards Against Humanity.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah.
Yeah, dear Netflix.
What's this? A bigger, blacker dick?
What's it?
Bees.
Bees.
Yeah, so movie-wise, I'm intrigued by Annihilation, which is it's got this weird kind of sci-fi vibe to it, which looks quite cool.
It does look pretty cool.
Yeah, I like. Let's say the trailers for Black Panther look pretty damn cool, so I'm quite happy to potentially see that one. It's not if I don't see it, it won't be because I'm not interested. It will be because I don't get to the cinema very often. TV-wise, I'm not up to speed on what's out, so I'm the worst person to ask when it comes to that stuff.
Discovery.
I haven't got Netflix anymore.
Disco, mate.
Yeah. I haven't had Netflix in some time actually. I've been considering signing back up to it. I've been considering signing back up to it just because I want to do The Punisher and I haven't.
Yeah, do some jiggery pokery and get yourself a free month.
Oh my
Maybe.
account settings.
Like, make a new email and get a 30-day trial.
Maybe.
Do it then.
I read a thing apparently that 30-day trials might have to be abolished because of this right to be forgotten law.
Oh yeah.
You know the law I mean?
Yeah.
So basically, it's an EU directive that's coming in that means.
And Bob Ross with him.
No, it won't. I guess not after a certain point. I guess not. The idea is that you're supposed to be able to tell a company delete everything you have on file for me, any details you have. So name, contact details, email address. Yeah. If you sign up for a 30-day free trial, theoretically you can just keep using the same email address every 30 days. So
they'll do away.
But I reckon that from what I could read, that sounds like it might be something where they might have to just rethink it completely. Like maybe, I mean, it might end up we might just get free software that's lighter and then paid versions that are better.
Don't we have?
Yeah,
exactly.
Don't a lot of companies have that sort of data protection thing where they hold it for like 6 years anyway?
They do, but this one is like you can just tell them,
request them,
just wipe me, and they have to by law.
Dear Google, wipe me.
Yeah, basically, it's like just send them a picture of your fucking ring.
All right, Sarah.
Right,
Go to see. Dear Google, go to see this.
No, Alexa, no.
Didn't react.
It's alright, she didn't.
We should really mute the mic when we're recording anyway.
Yeah, I know.
I wish she had a camera on us to film us all frantically heads snapping around.
To be fair, the noise gate doesn't pick her up even if she replies, so it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, let's pit AIs against each other. What can go wrong?
You ever seen the ones where they get a Google Home and
Yeah.
that one to talk and crazy?
It's like when they phone a Chinese restaurant and get them to read the order back to a separate Chinese restaurant. It's happened a few times as like pranks. There's obviously loads of different phone pranks. Like the John Cena one was popular for a while on YouTube and stuff. It's great. But there was one where they would phone a restaurant, like I said, a Chinese restaurant. They would place an order, and then they would say, "Oh, can you read that back to me?" And they would hold the phone in front of they'd just picked up from another Chinese restaurant. So one would read to the other, and then they would go, "Okay, no problem. When are you coming to pick it up?" What? And it was just a back and forth of like, what do you mean pick it up? You're ordering from me, aren't you? And it's just back and forth like that for a couple of minutes. It's quite enjoyable. Twice. Like most YouTube videos, it stands up to about 2 or 3 repeat views before it gets tiresome.
That's done for 2018?
I think so. Games-wise, I'm hoping that Crackdown 3 gets a release on Xbox this year, but if it doesn't, then I guess Detroit.
Red Dead 2, is that this year?
Red Dead 2's this year.
Oh, yeah.
That could probably be.
I never played any of the other Red Dead games, but it does look very good.
Yeah.
I just restarted it this week.
Okay.
Properly in the zone with that.
The only open world game I've beaten twice.
High praise indeed.
Yeah.
I don't find myself going back to open world games very often just because I tend to find that I don't have the time because there's other shit to play.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I'm taking my time with The Witcher is I don't want to have to do this shit again.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It was more, I loved Red Dead. I wanted to live the story again.
Yeah.
Just genuinely have a good plot all the way through.
Unlike,
GTA games can be quite hit and miss with their overall plots. Red Dead, I thought, good Western storyline and Fifth Horse.
Yeah.
What else you got for us?
I do have one more. So from Tom at the Lord Tom on Twitter. I don't know when he got his title, but good for him. Thoughts on the 3 separate points. Actually, they're kind of 2 with kind of caveats, I guess. What are your thoughts on remakes versus reboots.
What's the difference?
There is no difference. Reboot is just for swishy current marketing term
Yeah.
for a remake.
Exactly, they are the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know
what's
the
right?
difference.
What are our thoughts on
I would
remakes?
only say the only thing is that you do get some things where it's a reboot is like a complete reset of the universe starting from the beginning, while a remake is
Shot for shot.
shot for shot. Yeah.
Or
No, I don't.
No.
I don't think the term reboot was around 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's just a.
Apart
It's,
from the crappy cartoon.
it's just a. It's a
We don't
fancy
talk
way of
about
saying
that.
remake
Yeah.
because computers exist now, and that's now
Yeah.
a word.
Yeah.
But it's they're the exact same thing.
fair enough.
Yeah.
If it was called Horcrux.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Horcrux. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why they say like a HD remaster of a video game and a full HD remake. That's why you will get Final Fantasy VII, which is just the PS1 game with the graphics spruced up a little bit,
Versus
and then
completely
the
re-engineered.
obviously complete Final Fantasy VII remake that's coming out at some point in our dead by then.
That's generally how life works, yes.
Yeah.
Remakes to me, I'm kind of aware that I don't like them in principle, but I'm also aware that a lot of the movies I like are remakes.
The thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously,
the thing,
yeah.
The big one.
Doesn't feel
Um,
like a remake.
But it is.
Yeah, I know.
It's-
Yes, thank you.
Well, that's-
Captain fucking Semantic.
That is another thing. It's based on a book, so therefore, is it a remake or is it based on the book? Because the John Carpenter version of the thing has a lot more to do with the book than the thing from Another World does.
Oh yeah,
Or,
here we go. What's your
there's
answer?
another one.
Captain Smart
I
Ass.
don't know.
Horror
I've given you a rank. That's right.
The Amicus movie Horror Express is based on Who Goes There, the same short story.
Yeah.
But it's set on a train travelling across the Trans-Siberian Railway.
Nice.
It's
I'd watch that.
a totally different. It's the same
Now you
monster,
see-
but it shapes, it impersonates people.
Yeah, when you
It's
first
in a
told me
block
that, I
of
didn't
ice.
realise it until I looked when you pointed that out, and I went, oh, yeah.
It's a really clever adaptation.
Yeah.
Is it then a remake of Thing from Another World, or is it just another adaptation?
Or
Same as,
really strangers on
Stanley
the train.
Kubrick's Clockwork Orange. Andy Warhol made a Clockwork Orange movie beforehand, but we don't think of the Stanley Kubrick Clockwork Orange as being a remake. We think of it as an adaptation because it's based on the book.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There's a distinction, Tom. If you're listening, I hope you're listening because you want to hear your question read.
Yeah.
But,
What
there's
about
a
the average
distinction.
prequel?
I've never seen it. I didn't. It was sometimes sequels and prequels I just cannot get excited about, and that one for me was. It wasn't a story I was interested in hearing because it was one of those. The mystery was enough.
You knew, and also you knew how it ended anyway because you saw the beginning of the thing, and it was in the beginning.
Yeah, and I liked you saw their base all smashed up, and I looked at that prequel and was like, I know that every little bit of the shot we see in the John Carter review is going to be over-explained.
Yeah.
Every bit of damage
yeah.
is going to be explained.
That is a weird film because it's a prequel, but it's like a stealth remake.
Yeah, because it's
Because
almost
they hit all the same beats from the original movie,
I would say,
but it's also
the special
it's
effects
also
are
in
somehow
continuity. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I really love how they literally take the first shot of the old one and make it the last shot of this one. I love that, and that meant I left the cinema with a good feeling about it.
okay.
But
Yeah,
I wouldn't bother if for you.
when that was first mentioned, it was going to be another remake of the John Carter. They were calling it a remake of the John Carter one. We've just done that argument, but it was going to be a remake, and the fans backlashed, and then it became, oh no, we're going to do a prequel set on the Norwegian base. And I believe they just made the film they were always intending on making, which was a remake, and then called it a reboot.
Exactly.
And then along comes J.J. Abrams with Star Trek.
Now, what is that?
It's it was obviously a remake, but they Trek explained it just enough so that it fit into continuity. The whole movie, the first hour of the movie is setting up that it's a parallel universe, so they can just do a reboot.
Yeah.
That's why obviously fans refer to it as the Abrams.
Yeah, but or the Nero timeline. Yeah, it's
Kelvinverse.
Kelvinverse.
That's the
Thank
one
you.
I-
But they
is it
just
cold?
Well, no, it's because it's the ship that gets wrecked is the Kelvin.
Yeah.
Temperature joke.
yeah, but
I know. I have this disability where I
Yeah.
don't understand that people have
Yeah.
made a joke, and I just literally answer
he
what
went
they
for
say.
a
So
he
that's
went,
what just happened. I'm
I've
sorry.
had a few people do that to me. It's okay.
he went for a temperature joke and got absolute zero laughs.
Oh, I got that one.
You got Spike explained.
Yeah, but the Star Trek thing, that was a remake, but everyone just went along with it, same as with the thing, by going, "Oh no, it isn't a remake."
It's technically in the universe.
and it
Yeah.
really was.
Well, at least they made up their mind, unlike just a mess. Until
Prometheus is a mess. It's an ambitious mess, and there's a lot in Prometheus that I like, mostly At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. There's a lot of that I like.
Somebody's like that review so much, is I've got to go and find me a copy. Yeah. if that doesn't come through on the noise gate, it's all fucking hilarious.
Messy.
Thank you, Canada.
Prometheus is messy. The weird one to me was the remake of Friday the 13th from about 10 years ago. Did you ever see that?
I didn't see it, no.
They changed a lot of things that Jason does that didn't quite work, like he ran after people or he'd set booby traps for them. Yeah. It's just like, well, all right, do something different then. That's fine, but you've really kind of put me on the back foot a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do spoilers for a movie from like 30 years ago now.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You're right. They've had time.
The twist of the original Friday the 13th is all through it. You're led to believe that Jason is the serial killer.
Yep.
And it's not. It's Jason's mum has been the serial killer the whole time.
Yep.
So when they came to remaking Friday the 13th, they were left with a choice of either having Jason be the killer, at which point it wasn't a remake and it was just another Friday the 13th movie, or have Jason's mum be the killer, but everyone knows that twist already.
Yeah.
So what they did was
Jason killed his mum.
What it did was it carried on from the end of the original Friday the 13th and was kind of a remake of parts 2, 3 and 4 mashed together.
What?
They made a remake that didn't work unless you'd seen the original. A mistake that would not be repeated until Ghostbusters.
Yeah. No, I'm still trying to get my head around the Friday the 13th thing.
I'll dig it up. It's worth watch just as a kind of, I'll see what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll dig it up for you.
All right, I'll check it out sometime.
The Ghostbusters thing, the whole hindering point behind Ghostbusters was it was a remake. But again, so many of the jokes were based off in the original. All the marketing was based off knowing the original.
Or, you must hate women.
But the controversy aside, the actual what they produced was just they were throwing the logo at you all the time and saying stuff like "Answer the Call," obviously referencing the lyrics to the song.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you take the controversy away from Sony's marketing, there's no marketing.
Well, this is their thing recently. Yeah.
It's working out swimmingly for them.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Ghostbusters 2016, and I did like it. I think it did a lot of things right. I think the best things it did were none of the characters were straight rips of the originals. There's no one was obviously Egon, no one was obviously Ray. No black person was obviously the black person, as the trailers led you to believe.
I think they still were, just not Winston.
Yeah. And it was the original Ghostbusters with 4 friends from Saturday Night Live having the time of their life making a comedy movie, and they got some guys from Saturday Night Live to have fun making a movie, and that really worked. But there was a lot of bits which kind of just didn't work or were a bit too goofy.
Right.
I think the problem with the issue now is that movie's got a sort of stand for the whole concept of getting like a female cast or like having representation. It's now, well, look at how horrible Ghostbusters was, if you think it was horrible. I mean, I'm kind of the same as you. I think it's sort of somewhere in the middle, like everything.
I'm not a massive fan personally, but my reasoning is ultimately that it didn't feel funny enough to be a comedy. It didn't feel action packed enough to be an action movie, and for me it just didn't. There was a couple of times where I could see, like, there were actually times where I found myself sitting there.
For context, are you a fan of the originals?
Yeah, I like the originals.
Okay, cool.
As I say, I don't hate the new one. It's just there were a few times where I actually caught myself going, well, they were going for a joke there. That's a shame. I just go, I see what they were doing. That wasn't funny. So, but it's one of the things. It just didn't land for me. That's whatever. Yeah. If people like it, that's cool. More power to them.
As a big fan of Ghostbusters, I enjoyed it, but at the end of the day, it is the It's the third best one. I mean, that's pretty much the way of putting it.
I'd rather binge for cartoon personally, but fine.
Well, I'm talking about a movie.
Yeah. No,
because if I'm going to say, well, fuck you, the PS3 game's better.
I hear good things.
You can make
about
that case. I'm sure that's a perfectly reasonable.
A lot of fans would.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be a new one next year.
I don't know.
Video game?
Movie.
Oh,
no, I'm not sure they're allowed to make any more games
one.
after the last one.
Maybe.
I'm quite glad. I think all the rage around that Ghostbusters movie is now shifted onto Star Trek Discovery. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah,
I do. Or Last Jedi.
I've not seen it so much. Last Jedi's gone away a bit for me as well now. But every time
you see more Star Wars than he does, and he sees more Star Trek.
Yeah, I've got the Star Trek pages on Facebook, and the third reaction logo is always an angry face. Anytime they mention Discovery, it was the first. Now it's the second. It's gradually going down to the third. And every time I see one, I have to look at the comments. I can't stop myself. It's like an addiction. That some of the people are like really making me question my faith in humanity just because. Oh,
Fandoms will do that.
I've got a great quote from Leonard Nimoy that I just keep on the clipboard and just block post to everyone. Where Leonard Nimoy said,
"Shut up, you cunt."
Brad just did a Vulcan pitch on Rob.
Amazing if that was it. It's just a picture. Shut up, you cunt. Leonard
Nimoy. No, it was something.
Make that up. That's got to be.
I'll do it. That's so much better than the one I've got, which is just I wish Star Trek fans wouldn't be so attached to the minutiae of what's canon, what's not, and they should just accept that Star Trek wants to go to new places and go with them and be excited about it. And that's the thing that Nimoy said, and people just shut up when you post that.
I mean, I only really started getting into Trek about a year ago. And I've kind of just gone with the continuity of Discovery because I don't really know any different.
Hey, I'm just assuming it's a reboot, but they don't dare say it is.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's like real technology in our present has overtaken the original series in many different ways. Like sort of holographic stuff's starting to come through, and mobile phones are like more powerful than their communicators. So they kind of have to update a lot of what Discovery can do.
It's like the original Alien. All the computers are tube TVs displaying white text. Then everyone up in arms. Oh, the ships in Prometheus has got much better tech. Yeah, because it would look fucking stupid if they didn't. It's just a story. If this was in a book, you'd do it automatically in your head. It doesn't matter.
On the other hand, you can see why they changed it for Covenant. They actually downgraded the ship and just said, well, that was Wayland's ship. Obviously, it was expensive. This is a cheaper
Alien
ship.
Covenant was Ridley Scott pretending he wasn't listening to the fans while simultaneously giving in to what he thought the fans wanted.
Yeah.
Was that really? God.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought the fans want? Fucking hell.
No,
I've seen that movie. It's garbage.
Ridley Scott did my head in recently when after the most recent Blade Runner sequel, 2049, came out, and he was really. It boiled his piss. It really did.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
His response was, well, I don't like that they didn't make Deckard a replicant because it was my story, and I really don't like that someone else is doing stuff with my story. And I was like, on one count, it's not your story, it's Philip K. Dick's story.
Yep.
On the other hand, I really feel that Walter Hill, David Giler, Dan O'Bannon, and H.R. Geiger know exactly how it feels when someone takes their story in a different direction.
I'd also point out that unless you make it explicit in the film, if you leave it open to interpretation, people can interpret
both
it.
ways.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
one of my favourite interviews ever is with John Carpenter.
Right.
And they say to him, where did you get the idea for the ambiguous ending to the thing? And he said, what ambiguous ending?
What we were just talking about, has just occurred to me, is probably quite a good argument in favour of remakes, because then you won't have the problem of developing technology contradicting your series that's been continuing for 50 years. Yeah. If you just reboot it, then all of those problems go away.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
I think in answer to that question, remakes aren't inherently a bad thing. But
no, not at all. There are some really
because
good
they're such a broad concept. There are plenty of good ones that we've mentioned.
There are some that I see kind of teased, like the idea that they're thinking of doing a remake to this, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then some I'm just like, oh God.
There's certain things that should be remade, but they're probably not the things that are getting remade.
I mean, they're never going to remake Gone with the Wind, are they?
No.
Because that's almost like Inviolate. They can't.
Yeah, it's just not.
You may hate on me for this, but I do quite want to see another Rollerball remake. I think the world could do that. Yeah. Like if it was done right,
and probably
if they kept all the clever shit.
That was a mistake the last movie did. The good remakes, to my mind, are artist driven.
Yes.
They are things like David Cronenberg saying, I really loved The Fly when I was a kid. I'd love to be able to make that with the special effects we have now. Okay. It's John Carpenter saying, I loved The Thing from Another World, but I want to make it more like the short story.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'll get Rob Bottin in. I think we can make Kurt Russell be around. That'll be an amazing movie. We can really do that.
Yeah.
Remakes these guys are guys in a boardroom going, we haven't made any money off this Freddy Krueger character for a while. How about we do another one of them movies?
Yeah.
And then they get a music video director in to do it, someone off a reality show to star in it, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's money driven rather than artist driven, and the audiences pick up on that.
Yeah. Well, I think it comes across
certainly
in
genre fans do.
Yeah, well, certainly, yeah. I mean, I think it comes across in every facet of it as well. It's just, there's little. I don't know if it's just little things you subconsciously pick up on in a film that just kind of alert you to the fact this is a cash grab rather than
The other thing is,
an auteur movie.
I worry how history will judge me. I really don't want to be that person in the 60s who was going, I don't know why Hammer are remaking all these old horror movies. The Universal ones were fine.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah.
Because those people were there and they were saying that, but they didn't have an internet. That was all.
No, that's true, yeah.
And so I don't want to be that guy going, I like the way it is right now. I want to see what happens. And what you were saying about reboots, you have to reboot every now and again. I think sometimes you do, but I also like the creativity of someone has already written something. Okay, how can I write around that?
There's certain things that are kind of loose enough. You have the freedom to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
we're kind of arguing for patent law in a weird roundabout way. We are, because ultimately that's what it is, isn't it? We've got to this goal using this method. You can't use that method, but you can get to this. You can do the same thing, but you have to do it differently
From a certain point of view.
Yeah, but it's weird that we've kind of made that point, because that's a point I always make.
I like this. I like the idea of someone. Lovecraft wrote a story. Robert E. Howard did another bit that he wove into it. Lovecraft took that. Stephen King, 50 years later, can weave a bit in as well. And I like, because if you rebooted the Lovecraft mythology, that would take a lot away from it, because it is this jumble of stuff over years.
Yeah.
And to an extent, the Marvel universe is that kind of jumble, and there's contradictions and there's fuck ups and there's ends that go nowhere. But I would rather have it rough around the edges than them every 5 years going, we'll start from the beginning again.
Yeah.
I like a rich, diverse...
That's the DC approach.
Yeah,
but
it's
the Spider-Man approach as well.
Marvel's been growing for like 60 years, though. And it's nice that they can reference stuff from a comic in the 70s. Marvel Limited, you can go back and read it. But I would rather have something rich and immersive and full of life and a bit rough around the edges where things don't quite leap and you've got to do a bit of what I told you is true from a certain point of view jump to make them tie up, than something clean and clear cut. Because again, one of those is artist led and the other one is money led.
But wouldn't you feel like the money led one would be more likely to be rough around the edges because they don't take the care to do that stuff?
So much of Marvel's money led anyway. It's all
of course, but
like, especially the early stuff, it was just like cranking out.
It was pulp.
It was like, people like this one, do another 6 titles about that guy, blah, blah, and have to pull all the stories out of your ass to make that work. It's like, but we killed that guy off already. It's like, no, people loved him. Bring him back somehow.
Stan Lee has dropped dead. Yeah, when he was doing that, he was writing something like 10 comics a week.
Yeah.
But he started to write a script, and after a while, he'd give a loose outline, hand it over to the artist, they'd draw it, and then he'd write the speech bubbles to go on the art
nice. Yeah.
Because he was just so overburdened.
Yeah.
Do you know how overburdened he is? You know what he looks like? He's 40.
I think that's partially where a lot of the genius comes in. That the way he works, there's a lot of brilliance crept in just by accident almost.
But Stanley didn't go, reboot it. He'd go, that guy from back then, we'll bring him in. No, he didn't really explode. Here's what happened. Yeah. And that's what I like. Don't reboot it. Bring it in.
Do some ridiculous retcon.
Be creative rather than just hit the reset button because you're bored.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, lesson learned, we'll never do a reboot of The Crazy Train. How's that?
We've done them twice.
No, we haven't.
Went to a centaur and then he came back to believing in recreationism again, but still had a third of a horse's arse. It was a mess.
I got bad news for you. I think that's just his arse.
Oh, shit. What's the tale about?
No comment.
He never gets to tell it. Tell jokes.
Yeah.
Duality of meaning.
Oh, what a show.
Oh, anyway, Tom.
I've got to rant.
Yeah, Tom, I'm hoping that answered your question.
Didn't you say there was a second part of it?
No, that was it.
No, we kind of covered
reboots
it.
or remakes, yeah or no, basically. And it was woven in.
I thought you said after that.
We ended up covering all of it.
Ended up covering it all because there was actually a question about what do you think of the female-led remakes, things like that.
No, that's fine. Sorry,
the female-led, the all-female.
There was a bit about all-female.
Yeah,
we talked about it
all-female
already,
thing. I kind of understand it a little bit, as I feel to make the point known that we want more women in movies. To start with, there has to be a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. We can't do, the Ghostbusters movie couldn't have been, there's 2 men and there's 2 women.
Could have.
We're at the point where we need a bit of a knee-jerk and go, there's all women in this movie, to get people going, should there be more representation? And then we can do the movie with more proportional representation. I feel like there needs to be a bit of almost like a protest vote at first.
I don't know how much I agree with that, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
It's like...
I appreciate that.
You bastard. Blake does not appreciate that. Any further thoughts on that?
No,
I like the cardinal sin of dead air.
Primarily, I just need a week.
Well, thankfully, edits, I'm able to tidy up a lot of that stuff. And I can also put in text-to-speech calling you a cunt.
I might do an edit of Brick Fury that's just crinkling noise one day because there's a fuck ton of that.
Oh yes. As somebody who also does HeroClix videos, I can understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah, that's been the next internet trend. Edits of Brick Fury where all the people are cut out.
Just a load of plastic and crinkling noises.
Yeah, episodes of Brick Fury where you only show the power card.
Yeah. Only Ian speaks.
Anyway, on that note, thank you very much for listening to the Crazy Train episode 60.
Wow.
I know.
I didn't think we'd make it to 12.
Well, that's the spirit. We hit 5 years this year as well.
Oh, wow.
Which is incredible.
Think how far we've come. We all got a microphone each.
Yeah.
You've got your own flat.
Yeah.
I've got a
theme
daughter.
tune.
Some other podcasts have 60 episodes in just over a year.
Well, maybe if we got better, maybe if we get gutter.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of ultimately it, yeah.
That's the drive for this year, really, isn't
It's
it?
kind of ultimately what it boils down to, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Rob, are they good?
some of them.
Yeah, that's my point.
No, some of them. Yeah, some of them. We're very much a quality over quantity outfit, you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have both, and that's
We're
nice.
consistent though.
As far as,
Yeah.
but
A lot of things
you
drop
think
off
what's
after 10
changed.
episodes.
This is true.
But
Or 12 in your case.
Oh, it was 10, I thought.
No, it's 12.
Oh, okay.
the thing
So you know
about-
better than me.
do think about what's changed a year though. Because we've all got microphones
Yep.
of our own. We've got proper equipment.
Yep.
You've got your own place, which
Yes.
we're recording now.
Yeah.
I've got married and had a daughter in that
Yes.
time. You've got engaged.
I almost had a daughter.
I almost had a daughter. Spike's got married. Blake. Well, we like Blake.
He's
I've got
certainly
a copy of BattleTech.
Blake Stasis.
he still knows how to stab, doesn't he? He
Yeah.
just still knows where to work it.
He knows that's a death from above.
where to work the shiv. So if you've enjoyed the Crazy Train episode
Boils
60,
my heat sink.
I've been too busy attending all of these.
yeah, true. So if you've enjoyed the Crazy Train episode 60, you can find episodes 1 through 59 on, as well as episode 60 on Apple. Let me just do the list because there's quite a few now.
Yeah.
So there's Apple Podcasts,
Boom, boom.
Spotify,
Theme tune.
That's
for
cool.
boom, boom, boom.
YouTube. Don't make it louder than my fucking vocals. You pillock.
What's with your mic technique recently?
I'm just talking into it.
Talking vaguely at it.
Sorry, should I stop?
Anyway,
Okay.
Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, but who gives a shit?
Fuck Stitcher.
I don't even know what Stitcher is.
It's just another one.
Okay.
There's nothing. From what I can see, there's no. I don't know what their unique selling point is. It's not immediately apparent. So, who
If
knows?
you listen on Stitcher, get in touch. We're curious.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's probably someone set it up and forgot about it, and they're paying the server cost every month, and they're not noticed.
That would be me. It was free, otherwise I wouldn't have bothered. I needn't have bothered.
I meant the whole service.
Oh,
Or
right.
Somebody built it and then forgot about it.
Yeah,
So
mate.
it's just
I see what
running
you
on
mean, yeah.
autopilot. Yeah.
So yeah, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, Echo. So now, so you can you have to use the AnyPod app to work through it. So it's in the skills option on your Alexa app for some reason, because machines have skills now as opposed to apps. What do I know? I'm just a purist.
I remember when they were called programs.
Yeah. Remember when they were just called bits of data on a drive?
Yeah, that was a long-winded way of referring to
Yeah,
them.
yeah. It was clunky
Probably
then.
better that we have short words
Yeah, it was
for them now.
clunky then.
Dave, have you got the latest bits of data on the drive I could borrow?
Which bits of data on the drive do you specifically want?
Space Invaders.
Thank you. All right. On this drive.
That's how a jammer board works, guys.
Ever talking about bits of data on a drive, going back, what's it, the Oregon Trail or whatever, that really old, but
Mm.
you know that for a long time the Oregon Trail only existed as a paper form.
Oh.
But they wrote it on this computer at university, like a proper old big IBM big one,
Yeah.
old like 80s supercomputer thing,
Mm.
and they had to
What a waste.
wipe it when they left uni to
Because
like
of the new
make
EU regulations.
because there was only like 10 bits of space or whatever.
Oregon
so they had to
Trail.
wipe it.
Oregon Trail invoked
so
its right to be forgotten.
But before they wiped it to save it, they couldn't put it on anything. They didn't have any discs. No disc was big enough or something, so they had to print it out. And then so Oregon Trail's program only existed in paper form for about 5 years.
Wow.
Until he got around to typing it back into a computer and making it back into a program.
We should play it more often now I know that. I feel we should be appreciating.
I think that's a great story.
That was my favourite game on my Windows phone when I had one. I had the Oregon Trail, like a sort of retouched.
Oh yeah, no, I've got Organ Trail on PS4, which is basically the same with zombies.
Nice. So yeah, you can
Have
find.
I pushed us over 2 hours.
That's
yet
fine.
with that unexpected
You can
anecdote?
find the show on all of the places I mentioned just now.
All good places.
There's a fairly good chance I've missed one, but ultimately suck a dick, I guess.
Deezer?
Podcast addict.
Deezer,
I listen
no.
to it on.
It's probably still on Zune.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Last FM.
Last FM, no.
Yeah.
Google
Got it
Play
on
Music.
Spotify yet?
That's
Google
what I
Play Music,
Yeah, Spotify, yeah.
You mentioned that
There was
one.
a
Tune
list,
in.
yeah. Tune in. I can't find the option for tune in. Maybe
It
I
might
just
just
need
be
to.
streaming, to be honest with you. I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe. I'll look into it.
iPlayer.
iPlayer, no. No, you can't download the Crazy Train app just yet. I'm still learning how to code. So
And not until we can get them mashed up with the Archers we all dearly want.
Everyone is crazy now. Everyone is crazy. So you can do all of that stuff.
There's Wizard in top field.
How much is the trolley worth? He says 5. So you can find the show and all of those things. We always appreciate a review, particularly 5-star ones. But if it's 4 with some decent constructive feedback, I'm all right with that.
Mm-hmm.
3
He says all right,
3
but
or
his
lower.
hands are getting
3 or
really-
lower. Just email it to me. I'd rather not taint the star rating, to be honest. So you can email us at podcast@emotionally14.com with the subject line Crazy Train. Or if it's for the Gamecast, which is our sister podcast, also which will be the same cast as you're just hearing now. In about 10 minutes' time, we'll be putting that together. So you can find all of it on emotionally14.com, as well as on our social media outlets at emotionally14 and the Emotionally 14 Facebook page. With that in mind, where can people find you on social media? Blake, would you like to go first?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter
At fuck's sake, Blake, not this shit again.
and you can find me on Instagram at Harmer the Appreciator.
Nice. Spike?
I changed my Twitter handle to something that makes sense, so it's at _Spike Direction.
Now, what's funny is you also own Spike Direction.
Do I?
Yep.
Well, I've no idea. That's why I
this the other
couldn't
day.
get that one.
I was looking at it the other day and I was like, that sounds a lot like Spike.
It's probably when I first signed up and then forgot all about it for several years.
Fairly
And
safe bet. So what is it now?
_Spike Direction.
_Spike Direction.
Actually, no, I think I must have done that one after I did my original one, because my original one was the one with the stupid name, but that's gone now. So
Yeah.
I won't mention it. I don't want anyone going.
_Spike Direction.
That is it.
And Instagram, you got any
It's
of
at
that?
Spike Direction.
At Spike Direction.
And on Facebook as not Spike Direction.
All right, cool.
Good luck finding that.
Yeah. That's it. That is a big list.
Yep.
Whittle your way down. Brad?
You can find me on Facebook by searching for Brad Harmer Barnes. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RealBradHB. And you can find my books through Amazon.
Yes, you can. And you can use the widgets on Emotionally 14's
Which you
website on the team page to purchase them. And you can use our Emotionally 14 widget through Amazon to buy absolutely anything. And it won't cost you any more, and it will throw us a little bit of love our way. We also sell humble bundles, T-shirts, all sorts of stuff. So there's a page called Support E14, and it gives you a list of all the things you can do that are free and all the things you can do that cost money. You can choose to do all or none of them, and, ultimately nothing very much will change. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to The Crazy Train, and
Ultimately, very little will change.
ultimately very little change. Goodbye, I guess.
Peace.